turns plain pieces into something that sings. So come on in, pull up close. This is how the real ones build what they love most. Harvel Low, Harvel Low, model maker of model makers. Harvel Low, scratch built dreams and fearless layers. Tune in now, don't let it go. Next models, here we go. Harvel Low, we are ready for the glow. Hey. I'm building Japanese, oh yes, I'm building Japanese, and no, I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes, I'm building Japanese, and no, I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes, I'm building Japanese, and no, I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes, I'm building Japanese, and no, I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes, I'm building Japanese, and no, I won't stop. to the final trim. He turns plain pieces into something that sings. So come on in, pull up close. This is how the real ones build what they love most. Harvel Low, Harvel Low, model maker of model makers. Harvel Low, Harvel Low, scratch built dreams and fearless layers. Tune in now, don't let it go. Next models, here we go. Harvel Low, Harvel Low, we are ready for the glow. Hey. I took a picture of my last kid. He's out of focus. I'm fixing it. I use an autofocus and then I redo. Oh, it's in color. The wings are green. The belly's light gray. It's looking mean. I like to build them when there's no one else around. I take a picture, another picture. I use a gray card and a light box as well. I want a camera with telephoto to take a picture of the inside as well. You got me building, yes I'm building, yes I'm building, yes I'm building, yes I'm building Japanese. Oh yes, I'm building Japanese and no I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes I'm building Japanese and no I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes I'm building Japanese and no I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes, I'm building Japanese, and no, I won't stop. I built Tamiya and Hiroshima and Hasagawa when I find them on sale. I build an airplane or a kaiju, cause I'm a creative, intelligent male. You got me building, yes I'm building, yes I'm building, yes I'm building, yes I'm building Japanese. Oh yes, I'm building Japanese and no I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes I'm building Japanese and no I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes I'm building Japanese and no I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes I'm building Japanese and no I won't stop. ODK and Mania and Maru-san and Nishimo for a start. Nito feels an issue like no other. To Fujimi Maru's took it over, not Fuji. Oh yes, I'm building Japanese. Oh yes, I'm building Japanese, and no, I won't stop. I'm building Japanese. Oh yes, I'm building Japanese, and no, I won't stop. I'm building Japanese. Oh yes, I'm building Japanese, and no, I won't stop. I'm building Japanese. Oh yes, I'm building Japanese, and no, I won't stop. Japanese, oh yes, I'm building Japanese, and no, I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes, I'm building Japanese, and no, I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes, I'm building Japanese, and no, I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes, I'm building Japanese, and no, I won't stop. This isn't something that sings, so come on in, pull up close. This is how the real ones build what they love most. Harvey Low, model maker of model makers. Harvey Low, scratch built dreams and fearless layers. Tune in now, don't let it go. Max models, here we go. Harvey Low, we are ready.
Windows capture is hot. Intro is off. Okay, and we are
Hey.
live, yay, with world famous model builder Harvey Low and Steve and Ken.
That's Stephen and Ken.
I didn't quite get my cough medicine prepared before, so here we go, boys and girls. Guys, if you can hear us, let us know. Shake, 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 shake.
Or eh? Max, good stuff.
Okay, let's see if I can do this with not knocking everything on the floor again.
This is the famous emu. And
Everybody's sending messages. It's time. Push the button. It's time. It's time.
We're running about a 14-second lag.
you
Yes,
deprive
the junkies of the live stream are speaking.
Yeah, that's all we're going to talk about. What Max is drinking. We're not going to talk about models at all.
Hey,
Forget
Steve's
it.
from Manhattan. You're just north of Manhattan, and I love a Manhattan.
You guys were talking about Polk a few minutes ago. I had the honor of meeting Mr. Polk. Oh wow!
Polk's hobby?
Wow. Yeah,
Okay, don't keep us hanging. What's the dealio?
he was in Deerfield Beach at an outdoor model railroad club. They had a riding train, and they also had some G gauge track. And I had brought my G gauge engine and car to run because I'd never really had a chance to run.
Ken's
it.
model railroads.
Yeah,
Ken,
yeah, okay.
Steve's cars, I'm planes, he's railroads, you're armor tonight.
Okay. I don't know a lot of things. Anyway. Wow.
Of course you do.
So while I was there putting my train on the track, this the guy who was helping, he says, that guy behind you made your train. Right. What? What are you talking about? He says, he's Mr. Polk. What year did Polk's hobbies?
They lasted till the
They
90s.
closed like in the 80s.
Well, I
Late
thought
80s.
they made it in the 90s.
Wow.
Because the building was worth a fortune.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I mean,
building
even though I'm
was-
from Canada, when I went there, my dad took me there. I had to go to Polk's hobbies.
Oh, that was a pilgrimage for a model builder.
Everybody. Yeah.
So anyway, it was really cool to get a chance to talk to him.
But you also knew nice armpit. You also knew Maynard Hill, right?
I also met Maynard Hill a couple times.
Maynard Hill was a world record radio control guy.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
he flew an RC, and I'm not joking. He flew an RC across the Atlantic.
Oh, really?
TAM 6, right?
No, TAM 5.
TAM 5 was it transatlantic
An
model?
actual RC aircraft
Yep.
flew.
Yep, he had built an autopilot and everything for it. He flew it until it went at it, and then it flew itself, and they were there to land it when he had a team
And
there
they
to land
got
it when
it.
it got there.
They got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's documentaries
Oh,
online
5
about
tries.
it.
Wow. Did he have anything to do with the Amelia Earhart aircraft? No. That's
A
something
little before his time. If he had, she would have made it. Oh, that was
Yeah,
a T-shirt.
yeah.
If Maynard had here comes Dean. Is that Dean sneaking up behind you?
Yep, that's
Yeah.
it.
Hey, Dean. That is.
Oh, he's showing us something.
So, but Maynard was an engineer, though. It's not like, I mean, not that a hobbyist couldn't do it, but I mean,
right.
Maynard was kind of cheating. He really knew what he was doing.
And he's a really nice guy too. After he was done doing his flying, he would go over and help kids that are just starting out, trying to get their engine started, or trying to trim their plane out.
This is like getting math tutoring from Einstein. You know, Dean, you're broadcasting to the world. So anyway, guys, for those who know, Harvey is up in Toronto. He is a world-renowned model builder, and I don't mean that as a throwaway or superlative or hyperbole. I mean, he really is. And Harvey, why don't you go ahead and give us a quick background on your expertise and on you. So for those who are not acquainted.
Well, the first thing is there's an old adage in modeling. There's always somebody better than you, right? Always. So
There's a lot of people better than us.
right. And I'm on this call and I'm a pleasure to be here. But what's going on right now is U.S. Nationals. So
Yep.
you go there when it's happening right now. You're going to meet a lot of really master craftsmen. So, but yeah, for me, I think it all started in the generation that we're in. It started for me at around age 8 with Airfix, probably around the late 60s, early 70s.
So this would be okay. I was about to say the 70s.
You know what it was? Now that I think back on it, what got me in to this hobby, I remember I was at my grandfather's store and I pulled out a drawer. I was probably 6. And the first thing I saw was this very colorful U.S. Navy decal sheet. It was my brother's. I can't remember. It was probably one of those naval biplane. I don't remember the kit. But I was just in awe of the decal sheet, that it was so pretty. The kit wasn't even there. And I was staring at it. And I remember earliest I got to get into this hobby. And it started right there. And then it's like first model, age 8. It was the Airfix bullfighter, I think. And I had to get my neighbor to help me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've really been building ever since. The only time I took a break was university. I didn't build models for 4 years when I was in university. I've been building ever since. And now I'm in my 60s and I'm still building.
Yep.
Never stop.
Kind of a standard story. I took breaks because of lack of money, but
but like you guys, I grew up on the war movies where there were probably a lot of the cast and producers were World War II vets. Battle of the Bulge, Tora Tora Tora, Battle of Britain, right? Yep. They're all the 60s, those are the things we grew up on. So we naturally migrated to what else is there? We didn't have cell phones, we didn't have computers, so we went to model building.
The first aviation flying movie I can remember seeing at a theater, and I was so excited. I told my dad about it. My dad was a private pilot in aviation, but was Mosquito Squadron.
Oh yeah.
Of course, I didn't realize it was a quick rehash of 633. I mean, they used a lot of,
but still,
but and I was like, I remember telling him something like that, and it's I mean, back then I didn't, but now it's a B movie when the lead character is from a TV show.
Yes.
And I'm like, Dad, we got to go see this movie's Mosquito Squadron. It's at the Leaf Theater, and it's got mosquitoes and that guy from The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
You guys remember the movies? I think it was like South Pacific was a musical or something.
Yes.
Well, my dad dragged me to see it, and I just hated it. I was just, no offense to moviegoers, I was bored. And I said, okay, now that you've had your turn to take me, and then he asked me, I still remember, what movie do you want to see? And I said, I want to see Tora Tora Tora. So
I'm like, that to me is one of the, probably, with me, it's a coin toss between The Longest Day, Tora Tora Tora, and The Battle of Britain as the best war movie ever made.
Totally.
Because they all stayed close to the truth. And no question that The Longest Day is the broadest in scope.
Sure. But here's the magic of those. I remember one day we were watching what was it? Battle of the Bulge or something.
Which is not a great movie, I'm going to tell you. Great actors, but
right. And that's the reason why I'm going to say this. So my friend, we're all watching at home, right? Because back then you didn't have streaming, so you're all watching. And then between commercials, we run out in the street and complain how bad it was and inaccurate. We'll go back and watch. That was the magic that we had. And then we start building models that this is the real way that you should do it. So it really started with that type of,
even as a kid, I was like, the Germans are using every patent tank in Germany.
Yeah.
But okay, we're going to get on models in a second, I swear.
Yeah.
But by the way, my nickname is Captain Tangent. So as you probably already, we tend to, but I would love to take movies like Battle of the Bulge, Midway, the one with Henry Fonda, not that, and use modern technology to keep the actors, and because they all did a great job, but fix all the battle scenes and the technical stuff. Turn the Pattons into tigers, and panthers and what, then you would have some really good movies. You get rid of all the stock footage in Midway and replace it with
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, you got a
and
lot
that's
of
not beyond. Given what they can do today, that's not beyond.
Yeah, but then look at Battle of Britain, where they're using, well, within small exception, they were using real aircraft.
I did a video about the making of the Battle of Britain, and it's it is. I also read the book, The Making of the Battle of Britain. Actually, it's just called the Battle of Britain, and it helped that it was almost all veterans that were rounding up the airplanes, and it just, there were so many veterans involved. They really kept it honest, and that was that really added a lot. I came to realize that a lot of times they didn't use names, but I realized that in the Battle of Britain, each character represented something. Shaw's character, the squadron leader, was based on Sailor Milan.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Ian McShane's character was there to show that they had flying sergeants, whereas Edward Fox's character was to show the typical flight officer, the lower ranking. And they touched on things like Ian McShane's wife being killed, his family being killed in the bombing, and they didn't dwell on it, but they showed what was going on the ground. They didn't make it this glorious air battle. Look, people were dying on the ground, innocent people. And when I watched that movie and saw him come back and saw the rec center his family was going to get bombed, I was kind of like, did what just happen? Because they touched on that in the miniseries A Piece of Cake, where the guy's new French wife gets killed. And he goes BS crazy after that, and apparently A Piece of Cake was written by somebody who was there. So it was not an exaggeration.
But to bring the modeling back, there's conversion sets. I have two of them that you can make a Hinkle 111 and a 109 into a Battle of Britain version.
Yeah, with the EMO engines and everything.
I've got the sets, so I'm going to do one, and I'm going to do it in the colors that they use in the movie.
Yeah, so that's great. Now, that gets the thing. Harvey is more known for kit bashing and scratch building these days. In fact, you were saying on your own channel, and by the way, real quick, promote your channel. Tell us where to find it.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Max. Yeah, so my friend Dave Forrest and I have a channel called Garage Studio Models. And all we talk about is banter. That's what we do, banter. Sometimes we do techniques.
Yeah, you guys have great chemistry,
Thanks. Does that resonate with our readers? Because what do they want? And they actually said, we like the banner.
Well,
so
sure, absolutely.
Like this. So while we will do techniques and show you how to weather and do a kit review, sometimes we just talk crap about modeling and they all enjoy it. So we're happy to thank you for having me. We'll do a shout out to you as well, Max, but we're up well past, my God, 40, 50 episodes already. We just enjoy doing it. And it's like this, we do film it and it's not a live podcast, but we rarely retake. We just shoot.
Sure. That's right? What makes it, the thing I get from people about my channel is I like the fact that it's just is what it is. I rarely, unless I'm doing a history video, I rarely have a script. Which explains all the cuts. But Ken and I have, like on this thing, Ken and I often do some banner, and he takes it like a man. But when he gets a zinger in, it's a good one. That's the thing is he lays and wait, like an anglerfish. But
with you guys doing your banner and us doing, I just find that's what makes it interesting, because people sometimes we heard that people put it on the background while they're building.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. They're there for the discussion as well. Well, let's face it, though, man. I mean, honest, I just have a buttery smooth radio voice. I actually stole that have you ever watched Honest Trailers?
Yeah.
The guy has that real deep voice. He goes, and you get to listen to my buttery smooth voice. I am so stealing that. I'm good because I steal from the best. Anyway.
Again, formally, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Harvey, it's a pleasure. It's an honor to have you here.
I'd be watching your latest ones on your B25. This is the way to connect. Imagine there's no way we connect like this. There's no way if we didn't have social media.
Everybody complains about the effects of social media, like especially on young people, and I get it. And those are issues that need to be dealt with. But it's created so many opportunities and everything.
Oh yeah.
I mean, everyone's a movie maker. Anyone can have a TV show now.
Yep. Yep.
Now,
and I'm addict for YouTube. So.
I spend way too much time on it. I often have it run the background. I often sometimes have you and Steve going while I'm working right over here at the desk on a little local model. But now, have you ever met a model builder named Plasmo?
Yeah. Well, I haven't met him. But
okay. I've seen. I think he's from Eastern Europe or something. But
Yeah, I've seen his videos.
now he does great work and he works very fast.
Yeah.
You've seen some of his build videos, how quick you get. Now, would you say you move that fast or?
Yeah, quick.
But that's
Now-
also because you're very experienced too. That's got to play a big part in it.
I think it is, but you know what it is? I used to build, I'll be very honest with you guys. I used to build strictly for competition. You know, you're younger. It's not about you beating it. It's you want to beat yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You always want to improve. So I was always, and I've been to the nationals, the U.S. nationals, probably a dozen times. But if you're building for the nationals, you're going to be working on one model for like a year. Do you know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
got to be surgical precision
Yeah.
because their judging is, fit and finish and all that. And that dawned on me, wait a minute, I'm going to switch gears, share my work and do articles. So I write tons of articles. You can kind of take some shortcuts with articles because you're not building it.
photographing them.
Right, yeah, the photograph hides all my errors. So I'm quick because now I've changed my thinking to say, I'm not building for the nationals. I'll build to get an article done because I just want to share my work. I'm pretty quick. I can knock like a 70-second single engine fire. I can knock it off in 3 days, 2 days.
Sarah
that's
Jane
good.
says that Plasmo is he's Dutch.
Ah, okay.
I knew he had one of those, accents that, and don't get me wrong, his English is way better than my Dutch. But we like to, funny accent. Huh? Yeah, when he's speaking English,
speak
try
Dutch?
Dutch, and they'll laugh at you.
Yeah, but the
Leading
other
into
reason that pushes me for quick builds is I do a lot of work with magazines, and I don't want to leave editors hanging.
Yeah.
It's my timeline, not theirs. So if I tell them, I send them, "Are you interested?" They go, "Yeah, we're interested." Then it motivates me to finish the damn thing, and then that's the other motivation. I'm building to that artificial deadline, which is really mine.
There are
and
about
not theirs.
7 things I want to say, but they'll distract us. Now, getting back to models, you do a lot of mostly scratch building and kit bashing. So
Yes.
I want you now, if you would please start talking about some of your techniques for scratch building and kit bashing. Take us
Okay.
through one.
I'll tell you, I'm going to start with one word, and that word I found I don't know if it's invented, but it was spoken from Shep Payne. Gizmology.
All Shep Payne. Oh,
Right?
the demigod of model building. Okay.
I remember reading we all have. And I remember reading some of his stuff, those little pamphlets you find in the monogram kits. And he kept going on about gizmology. And he
About
said,
what?
gizmology.
Gizmology. Okay.
Right. So in other words, you don't have, if you're going to do something to a kit, it doesn't have to be exact to whether it's a stowage bin or it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just something it's an art, right? And so you do whatever you can to improve a model by using creative gizmology. And so then I started going, well, let's go to the spare parts box and see what I can use. Kind of like the guys that in Star Wars, you can see the Millennium Falcon has parts from armor kits if you look close. So it started with, well, I got all these parts. What can I use in my spare parts to make this thing look better or different? And so then I thought, like I used to have all the, I probably do.
You're talking about
The old
Greenleaf.
Airfix, remember those Airfix hardcover books?
Oh, yeah.
I've probably got them all because if you look at those articles, they're very different than they are today. No offense to the articles today, but back then it was a hand-drawn diagram. It was
Because they didn't have everything being made and 3D
Right.
printing.
There's no 3D, there's no cutters, there's nothing. And it was all about cutting stuff and making stuff when there's no kit. And because I had a desire to build something different, and I love the fact that when you take stuff to a show that you kit bash or you scratch build, I actually love it when people, not that, hey, that's great work. No. I love to hear people say, what the hell is that? That, where did you get it? And say, well, it's kind of a combination of Frankenstein 3 kits or it's scratchable. I like that fact that you have something out there and nobody's actually seen it before.
Okay, on that very note, I understand from a video, one of your videos, I just watched it, you're working on a Japanese SPG, self-propelled gun.
So yes,
Okay,
I am.
but that's scratch build, right?
That's scratch build. That's
so
totally
just tell me your process. First off, you got to get drawings of the thing or something to go off of. So from the beginning, tell us your process.
all right. So the first thing you do is you collect as much info, and the internet's got everything. The model I'm working on now. In fact, I'm looking across my bench and I see it there. It's laid out already. The hull. Yeah, you have to get as much. And some subjects you don't have a plan. You only have photos.
That's like my life.
Right. If you have blueprints, that's great. I did a Japanese engineering vehicle about 3-4 years ago. I had plans for that, so I was lucky. This one is called a NATO, NATO. It's like a heavy self-propelled gun, kind of like a Nash one, but Japanese. And they actually were built, and they were actually, well, not deployed, but they were in the defense of the Japan homelands. So I said, I want to build that. Now, that's the interest part. And then you got to say, well, how am I going to do the details? So I pick a subject where it's relatively easy with a lot of flat panels. Like if you're doing scratch building aircraft, that's another thing. But scratch building armor is a little easier because you got flat plates and angles and stuff. So, okay, let's do the armor. Let's take a piece that I can steal from my spare parts box. So the suspension on the NATO is very similar to other Japanese armor, right? Like a Chiha, a Chinu. So I can steal the running gear on the tracks. That saves a lot of time. Now, if you're scratch building, and this is all kind of like unscripted, so forgive me, I'm going on tangents, but you have
because we
to
never
be
do
able
that
to
here.
get the correct dimensions of this thing. Now, how do you do that? You can actually, this is where math comes in. If you have a photo of the real thing, and you have an idea of exactly what the dimensions of one of those elements are in that photo, like a wheel, and you can guess it, you can do a conversion factor where you measure something that you know in millimeters of the part on that photo that you know generally what it might be, and then you can use a conversion factor where you take the kit measurements and divide it by the photo measurements. I'm being very quick on this.
That's
and
okay.
It gives you a conversion factor. You use that conversion factor to multiply to the scale that you want. And then that's the way you get more or less a correct dimension for some of the parts. It is a bit of math. You can actually find that conversion factor. I think it's in one of the old Comback books on building. I think it's building vacuum form, or it's one of those old softcover Comback books, how-tos from the 70s. It's actually in there. It's called a conversion factor. I modified it a bit. But without getting into a lot,
Just so you know, I'm putting a picture of a NATO up here on the screen.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing this in real time, so
it takes a bit of
few.
that conversion to get the dimensions right if you don't have scale plans.
Okay, it looks kind of like a half track with a full track. It's got a hood that slopes down.
Open top.
Okay. Yeah, I can see how that'd be a little easier to kit bash because of the slab armor on it.
Right. Right.
What kind of gun did it have? 105?
Yeah, something like that. I think it's a 105. It's big, or it's a 90 or a 105 something, right? So, but I'm starting with the now. Here's where it gets a little easier. If you're asking about scratch building, the old days of scratch building, you did it by hand. You put a steel ruler, go on the desk.
Don't tell me you've got a laser cutter or a Cricut.
Right, or you have a Cricut. You can use those now. But this is the first time where I'm scratch building this NATO where I'm using a laser printer.
No, Harvey. It's a laser.
That must be my Canadian accent, the laser. Yeah. So
come on, the actor who did that was Canadian, right? That was playing Dr. Evil. That was Mike Myers.
Yeah.
You should be able to do it more easily.
So now people will say, yeah, well, that's for people that got money. Okay, I get it. I get it. Not everyone's going to have
I shouldn't laugh at that.
Have a Cricut.
First off, I apologize for snickering when you said people who've got money, because I realize a lot of model builders, they have family obligations and stuff, and money's tight. And I kind of snicker because, I'm.
Look, I'll be honest. I worked in the public sector for 35 years, really hard. I'm still in the military. Those are ending my days. I'm lucky. I have some pension money, did all that stuff, invested. And so I decided last year I have a cutter. I have a Cameo 4 cutter, which is a vinyl cutter, which I use for masks and stuff. But I thought, is there an easier way to accurately cut dimensions of parts? And so I looked at all the laser printers out there, and there's a company called X Tool. I don't work for them, but that's what I bought, X Tool. It's not cheap, but those are the tools that people use to do, brass plates, etchings, and jewelry. And it took me a while because I couldn't find anything on the net. How can you use a laser printer to cut styrene? Because if you laser plastic,
Wait, a laser printer or a laser cutter?
Yeah, it's a laser cutter.
Okay.
This thing will
You
cut
said laser
wood.
printer. I was like, I've got a laser printer right here. I can cut. If I could cut styrene with that, we'd be living in a very different world.
You would. So I did a lot
Yeah,
of
you'd have a
research.
burned down house.
Yeah, you got to be careful because if you're laser, is that a word? Lasering? If you're lasering styrene,
Lasing.
it's
It's lasing.
dangerous,
Lazy.
right?
This
Lazy.
is lazy.
Lazy.
Lasing. Thank you. I got to speak to somebody that's
That's
non-Canadian.
Ken. He's our
Lazy.
tech.
So I basically, how do I use this technology to cut styrene? And actually, I figured out through tons of my own experimentation. You're not actually cutting it. You're etching
melting
it.
it.
You're engraving
Yes,
it,
you're etching it.
and then you snap it.
That's why PE
So-
photo etch. Yeah.
Right? So this project's first time where I spent probably 2 weeks designing the thing in CAD software, right? You design everything there, and then you print it. It's kind of like the old measure 10 times, cut once. This is design it for like 100 times on the computer, and then you laser it. The lasering of this thing, it's going to quite a few parts, but it takes less than 2 minutes.
We're going to keep correcting you. Lazing.
Lasing.
You'll be saying lazing by the time this
Lazy,
is over.
just like I'm lazy right
You
now.
just gave me a really
Laser,
bad
that's the
idea.
new Canadian word is laser.
Yeah, you just gave me a really bad
You guys call your the tops of your houses roofs. Well,
Uh-huh.
that's incorrect. It's called a roof, by the way. It's called a roof, not a roof. But
Well,
hey,
we only call it roof because we speak in America. We speak what I call lazy English. Okay. You just gave me a really bad idea. What do you think about this?
What?
Okay. You can run thin sheet styrene through a laser printer. You could print what you want and print it on the plastic and then trim it out.
yes. Now I'm cutting 60 thou, 40 thou styrene sheets, so it's pretty thick.
But
So I figured
you
out
could put
that
it on
you could-
paper and then tape it down to the plastic and etch. Point of getting it. Well, Fran does that. One of I think he's here with us tonight. Fran does a lot of World War II. They made a lot of wooden models because of plastic.
Yep.
And Fran gets a lot of these wooden models, and he gets all the parts. And he, being made of wood, he just makes copies of them.
Sure.
And he can make as many from one model. He can use actual, but just by drawing it on the wood, and then trimming and sanding to fit.
And then if you design it, you've got that design, you can do 10, 20 different, if you want. So it's really great. And the project's coming along really nicely. It's accurate. Once you do something on a computer, you're like micromillimeter accuracy.
Well, if you make something like that SPG on the Nato, if you make one wheel correctly, then you can just cast it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, when I was experimenting yesterday, it just dawned on me, well, maybe I should design where the locations of the return rollers and the wheels should go.
Mm-hmm.
And I added that to the drawing. So now it's just a matter of using like the 1/35th wheel sets from and I know exactly where they go because I designed them specifically I don't have to guess, I don't have to measure. So if you're scratch building, you got to do all that. But it's very gratifying now that you got this technology to help you make it a lot faster.
Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever scratch built an airplane that was made of corrugated aluminum?
I have not.
Okay.
But I have scratch built a submarine where I had to do the formers and then I had to vacuum form and heat form the plastic.
I was going
over
to ask you,
formers.
you vacuum formed, yeah.
Right. Tanks are easy. It's a plate.
Yeah.
But I scratch built a 172nd American S-boat submarine, and I just did the formers. You know what I mean? And then
Is that the one you sent me? You've got a picture of it?
Of my name and 172nd S44, S-44. You'll probably see it on the web. It has since sold to a collector, but I so wanted to build. I wanted to do a U.S. sub, and I wanted to do something different other than a Gato or a Baleo boat.
Wait a minute.
So
I think
did
I
an S
have that
boat.
picture. You sent me that picture, right?
Yeah, that's
Hold on.
there.
I'll put that up while you're talking about it because I have the picture of it finished and the picture of it under construction. When I saw
There
that,
you
I said,
go.
I think that's an S boat.
There you go. So that
Mm.
that one was originally started as a combat models vac form, but by the time I got the combat kit, it was so old that the plastic had damaged. So I really had to redo the whole thing. I had to
I've got
redo
it
the
up here
formers,
now.
and it's one of these things with scratch building. You do it because you so want to finish it. I want it, and that's what drives you.
Now I've got that picture of the unfinished S boat up, the
Yes.
naked one. Okay. So
Yeah.
okay, what of this is vacuum formed?
The hull.
The whole. Oh
So-
wow, how big is your
Yeah.
vacuum former?
Yeah, but so you're doing it in sections,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
And it's going over inside. There's I call them formers.
Well,
But
yeah,
they're
you had to
based
make
on
a
plans.
plug
I
or a
did get
mold
plans
for it.
on the S boat from a company, I can't remember. So I had those plans, and it was easy for me to make those. And then I sized them up to 72nd scale. The thing's about 3 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in fact, I'm just going to go over here and show a picture of it finished so people can see how great it came out. You got the deck crew and everything.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you know what? That scheme was the hardest scheme I ever did because it's all black.
Well,
I've never had a tougher time figuring out, well, how do I do a black submarine to make it interesting? And it's weathering.
you put algae and weathering, yeah, and a little rust.
Right.
Yeah. It's
It's
beautiful. work.
layering, right?
Where did you get the sailors from?
German company, Hecker Gross out of Germany. I think they're metal. I probably pronounced it wrong, but it's Hector Gross or something like that. And they're from Germany, and they do U.S. Navy PT boat figures. They do U-boats. They do a whole bunch of figure. They do British seamen type of thing, and these are metal figures.
Oh, they're metal. Okay.
They're metal, yeah, 72nd metal.
That's beautiful work. I'd seen that and I was like, okay, that did not look like a kit.
Yeah, no, it's not a kit. But again, I brought it. I remember bringing it down to the regionals in Louisville, Kentucky, and again, the reaction was, "Where'd you get the kit? It's not a kit, right?" So that's the satisfaction. But that was the only scratch build where you had to do formers. I haven't yet done like a corrugate, although I was looking at the Japanese, I think it's a Key 2, a Mitsubishi Key 2. It's 1930s corrugated aircraft.
Mhm.
I really want to do that.
Well, that got me into,
but-
I wanted to do a TBD Devastator, which has corrugated wings.
Right.
For about half the wing. Part of it's corrugated,
Okay.
part of it's not.
Yeah.
And I was like, how am I going to do all those those wrinkles in the corrugation?
So,
And
know.
there is a tool that's made for gunsmiths for checkering the grips on pistols that could cut a mold, cut the basic. It'd be a diamond pattern, but if you just go one way, you'll get the corrugate. You'll have to sand it down a little because it puts a sharp edge on it,
right.
so the shooter's hand can get purchased. But
I would think that maybe I don't have a 3D printer. I actually sold mine because the learning curve was too high. I suppose you could design something in a 3D printer, like a mold, and then push the metal on. I mean, that might be one way. But to get back to your question on scratch building, there are various types of scratch build projects, but they're all different, right? Aircraft very different than armor, right? And in fact, on a couple of pictures I sent you, I'm one of these weird guys that I like to build model guns. I don't know much about guns, but I like to build model guns. One of the pictures I sent you is it's a Confederate pistol.
Yeah,
It's
I've got. Hold on, I'll bring that up. I've got it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, keep talking.
That's actually based on the old Pyro kit, but it's cut up. It's a different gun, different angle of the grip, different cylinder.
Yeah, the Navy
everything's
36.
different.
Okay.
And I had to then, well, how do I punch numbers into the plastic? So I used a metal stamp,
Mm-hmm.
and it actually works.
Yeah.
But so when you're scratch building, I like it because modeling is about problem solving.
So wait a minute, you're telling me this Navy 36 is not the kit? It's actually
It's based on the Pyro, but loosely. Everything else is scratch built.
oh wow. Hey,
The
you got
barrel
the brass. You
different.
got the brass frame on it.
Because, Yeah, because I'm a Canadian, but I'm a American Civil War junkie. I just love it.
I just
It's like,
realized I
I
didn't
want to
notice this
do a
before. This
Confederate
pistol
pistol.
has the
I think
brass. This pistol has the
Sorry?
brass frame, which the Colts had steel frames.
Right.
But the Confederacy was running out of everything, so they used a lot of
Correct.
their Griswolds
Correct.
and a lot of
Did-
other stuff had brass
Did you
frames.
see? Did you see the YouTube that the guys from Atlantis put up from the Nationals? They were looking in the model room. Somebody built the Kentucky long rifle
saw it.
model.
I
Yeah,
saw
that thing was amazing.
I
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah,
really
I saw that, and in the wood grain, that's
Yep.
exactly what I. But the only problem with plastic model guns is I can't really take them to show. I certainly am not crossing the border with one and showing it.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know what? They're all on display at a place called Carefree Hobbies, which is outside of Toronto. They're all there. There's quite a few of them. I'm actually working on a Luger, but I don't bring them to shows. I don't want to cause a stir. But
Yeah.
it helps
People
you
got-
practice. A 1-to-1 scale model, I think it is a way of increasing your finishing techniques, because if you only stick to one scale, what at 48, I think it makes you a better modeler if you jump to 72. If you go back to 1-to-1, if you go to, because every scale, you have to use different painting techniques
They
to
all have
mimic
their
the
own
scale
demons.
effect. And that's why I like doing 1-to-1. And I love those old LS gun kits from my childhood. And I thought, well, how the hell do I do a blued
I have a
Confederate
1-to-1.
pistol? So that's what drove me.
Yeah, I have a 1-to-1 2-shot Derringer up here, which I won't bring out because on one of our live streams, somebody
Right.
showed one and they killed it. So,
Right.
but yeah, one of the things I know exactly what we're talking about, because when you build a model and miniaturize 1/32, 1/4, you use a lot of techniques to miniaturize, and the eye kind of fills in the gaps. You can get away with a lot of cheap painting. But 1-to-1 scale, it's got to be just like the real thing.
You know how I was at the Little Bighorn battle site. I loved it. I love going to battle site. I mentioned to you offline that I even finally got to see Andersonville. I went there, very somber.
That's
but
a cheery place in American history.
Yeah, but you know what? I love that history stuff, even though it's dark.
Me too.
So I did go out to the Little Bighorn, and I got so caught up in the U.S. Army, the Peacemaker, the sidearms that the troopers used,
Yeah.
and I had an LS, and that's in one of your shots I sent you.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, let's do it. And I remember I posted that pistol because it's a toy, it's plastic, and I said so. I posted it on one of the Civil War forums, and I'm just saying the guys went ape crap over it because they thought it was like real. And I said, well, that passes the smell test for me.
Yeah, it does.
If I
You
do
did a real
something,
good
I
job
can
with the
fool
wood
some
grain, which
Civil
is
War,
hard to do.
right? And I use, by the way, for those, scratch building is one thing, but finishing is another. You know what the secret is if you want to build 1-to-1 scale pistols like Pyro or LS?
What's that?
Is I had to go use different techniques. So I experimented. I found that the best stuff for simulating blued metal is shoe polish paste. Blue shoe polish paste. Not the shoe polish. You have to get the paste, and you get blue. So you still have to paint the thing, and then you rub it in, and you keep the scrubbing it, doing it, and you want a distressed look on your. So you're breaking all the rules of modeling where I want a finish that's going to distress the heck out of something underneath, and
Well, how did you do the marbling of the heat treated frame?
That's exactly it. So you do. It's not the hairspray technique. So on that one, I would spray it. I think I started with Tamiya AS12, which is from the lacquer cans, which, by the way, you can't get in Canada anymore. They're all
I heard. That's a shame.
So I sprayed that first. That's a lacquer base. And you go to your chemistry book. Well, what cannot you do to make it like to etch the surface? What you shouldn't do? Well, you do it. So then I took lacquer thinner on a brush, and then I brushed over it, and then I start to take a cloth and I start to distress the whole thing, and then I layer on the other coats of darker gunmetal. So I'd use stuff like metallizers and things, and then you do protective coats between them, and then you go over washes, this, that. You're layer upon layer, and you're constantly experimenting. You said it well, Max. It's your eye that tells you, I got it, right?
Yeah, it fills in the gaps.
Just keep going, and then the shoe paste is the last thing, and that gives it that blued look. But then when you look at something, you can't actually tell what color it is because there's many colors in there,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yep.
then you know you've achieved it because when you look at a real firearm, and I don't know a lot about guns, but there's many colors in an old, especially an old piece.
That's from
right?
the heat treating. The
Right,
frame,
yeah,
the
yeah,
frame
right.
area that has the marble look to it
That's it.
requires additional heat treating because that's where a lot of the pressures are at.
Right. So if I can achieve and simulate that in plastic, then that to me is fulfilling.
What about the wood
what-
grain?
Right? An aircraft or a 1-to-1 gun, but then that leads me to learn which types of paints work better with others. Because if the one thing you notice about my models is not only do I like scratch building, I like to dirty them up real bad. I like to distress. I'm not a builder of clean aircraft. If I want to build a zero at Pearl Harbor, it's clean. I'm not a fan of building zeros at Pearl Harbor. I'd rather build a zero in New Guinea that's lost all of its paints because I think that just gives me a little more freedom of artistic expression.
Yeah, after looking at that book from the Air Apaches that Eric sent me, I realized I needed to stress the heck out of my B-25
Yeah.
that I just built.
Yeah, aircraft
So
got dirty.
that's why I painted aluminum first and then used the salting technique to do the paint.
Yeah. Here, let me tell you a story because we're all kind of all over the place, right? So
Mhm.
I got a email, and I think it's one of the photos there from the aide de camp. I don't know if you guys use that term, American military, 2IC adjutant from General Richard Romer. He's one of I think the only surviving fighter pilot from the Normandy campaign. He's the only one left. He's about 103 or something. He's still alive. So I get a call from his adj. He says, Harvey, we're here to build models. I says, yeah, I thought I was in trouble. When you get an email from the military,
What did I do?
What? You think you did something wrong. Well, it says, well, we want you to build a model of General Romer's Mustang that he flew.
Is that the one where you're presenting it?
Yeah.
Because I thought that was a vehicle.
Right. So it was an honor and I did it. I don't know anything about Mustangs, so I went to every source. Now here's the interesting thing. Getting back to weathering, I had a chance to talk to him several times, and his wit is still there. He's very lucid. He still remembers things, but he didn't know that I was building. It was a surprise. But I asked him questions like, well, did it have D-Day stripes? And here's the thing. I went to the websites and the discussion groups, and a lot of the guys had said, well, from that squadron that Romer flew in, they didn't put D-Day stripes around the whole wing. Well, he said they did on his. There's no photos of his aircraft, but he said, oh, yeah, they did. Then I asked him 2 weeks later. He said the same thing. So my way of around that is you ask a veteran the same question over time, and if he gives you the same answer, and he's quick, yeah, they did. And he said that they put the D-Day stripes on with brooms.
Yeah, it was done by each crew chief did their own airplane.
Yeah.
So his crew chief did it all across the line.
Right. So that's why that model has, contrary to with all due respect to modelers, because who would know? The pilot would know. And then I asked him, did the airplane get dirty? He said, oh, yeah. He flew 3 or 4, if you get his logbook, and I was looking at it, he flew 3 or 4 sorties in one day because he was on photo recon.
Mm-hmm.
And he said,
oh, there landed, it is. It's a P-51. It's an A model.
It's a Mustang Mark 1. So, and it has a camera in the side. So he was on photo recon duty. And he said when he came down to refuel,
this is in British markings,
they didn't wash anything.
This is in British markings.
Yes.
It's
actually a Canadian, British markings. There's Canadian RCAF Mustang 1 in British markings.
Mm-hmm.
And I got all the serial numbers and stuff from him and some other sources. And then the weathering, when he came, he said he landed, they didn't clear the mud off the wings because he was in a forward base. There's mud everywhere.
Yeah,
he said all he did was wipe the front part of the canopy so he could see out. They didn't even do the sides.
I see the guns show soot on them, so I gather he was finding something to shoot at.
Yeah, he was shooting, but here's an interesting thing. He was in fighter combat missions before, but this time, this Mustang was the one where he spotted Field Marshal Erwin Rommel in the staff car, and he could not attack. he couldn't attack him because he was on photo op. He
Right.
said to me, if I had attacked it, he would have gotten crap because that was not his mission. So he called in an airstrike from another Canadian fighter squadron, and they took him out. And he said he was actually swearing. He said, I had a fully loaded Mustang with all the ammo, and I couldn't even fire on that damn thing. He starts swearing, and I could only take pictures. But
Well,
he called in a strike, and that's what did it.
in the movie, it was French pilots, but flying.
Yeah, he said that
Spitfires.
it was a Canadian squadron. And the interesting thing on the dirt is that when I brought the model out, because I got pictures there, a crew chief, a Canadian ground crew chief in Afghanistan, looked at the model and said, "Finally, an aircraft that looks dirty," because they got really dirty. And that kind of that passes the smell test once again. So I tried to mimic. If his aircraft got dirty, do it. If it was clean, like Zeros at Pearl Harbor, don't weather them, right? So that's an interesting thing where reality hits, and you incorporate that in your model, right?
Tell me about your weathering techniques on this.
On that one, again, much like what I learned from building the 1-to-1 scale guns, everything is about layering. You cannot just spray a green like green and leave it like the old days.
Mm-hmm.
You spray green, you do some washes, and you do a dry brush, you're done. Now, the secret is layering. And there's no such thing as FS colors anymore. It used to be the big thing, but FS colors are not a thing with me. You have to try to mimic the way aircraft distressed and got dirty. So this particular aircraft starts out with the usual modulation techniques. There's 2 modulation techniques, if you guys want to know.
Yeah.
There's black basing and white basing. Black basing is where you spray it black and you airbrush white patterns. White is the opposite, where you spray black patterns, usually following the panel lines. Doesn't matter which one. On this one, I use black basing. Now, here's the thing. If you use black basing, I've experimented with different colors underneath, reds, greens, blues. Somehow they don't work for me. The best way is just the black, spray your model black, and just take an airbrush with a fine needle and do patterns in white. That's good enough. So that's what I did for this one. And then you build up the colors slowly. Every color that you add to it, it gets kind of lighter and lighter. And then you're satisfied with, well, what color is that? You don't really know. One color is not covering. It's like figure glazing a figure. You're actually applying thin layers of paint. And you can see the previous color underneath. And then you go with the enamel washes and and oils. And that adds more until you find something. Yeah, it's there. That's the only way I can describe it. It's not like step 1, 2, 3. It's step 1, 3, 2, 5, 1, 4, 3, 6. You're going back and forth.
That brings something I want to ask you about. I heard you and Steve talking about Steve on his show about using oils. I've never used oil, so talk about that.
Yeah, for weathering, you have two main sources of weathering agents. You have oils, or enamels are kind of in the same camp, and acrylics. Okay. I personally like oils. Some guys love acrylics. I just find with oils, like figure painters mostly use acrylics. And they do because it dries fast. Mm-hmm. But I find, for me, I like slow because I can blend and I can mix. So I use a lot of oils. You can get Abteilung, the Abteilung 502 oils that they make by AK. There's a bunch of companies that make them. I also go use Winsor Newton. So you go to the art store and you can mix your own. You can use both. I'm not an acrylics guy, although I paint my figures in acrylics with oils on top. But if you choose to weather your models, I find that oils and enamels, like washes, are better for me because although they dry slower, it gives you time to mix them and to blend them. And if it doesn't work, you wipe them away. With acrylics, it's a little more, well, if it's what you're putting on is what you're going to get. Now, here's the new stuff that's come out. I probably got my Canadian gouaches. Gouache. AK's done some, Gunzi's done some. They're really good, and they're now producing those in like earth tones.
Don't they dry pretty quickly?
Those are, when you put them on, they're water based.
Yeah,
but
they dry quickly,
acrylics.
don't they?
Sorry?
Being water-based, don't they dry quickly?
No, here's the thing. Somehow, I'm not a chemist, but they put something in there so like they'll dry, but then they reactivate when you add water to them.
Oh,
And then you blend them. Whereas your traditional acrylics, once you put them on, that's
that's
it.
it.
You can't really blend them.
How long does it take
So
an oil
I
to
really
dry?
like them. What?
How long does it take
Sorry?
an oil to dry?
You can put those gouache on. They'll
No, the
never.
oils,
You can
oils.
leave them. Oh yeah, you'll leave them on a model for a month, and you put water on. They'll reactivate.
No, I mean,
So
but the oil-based
Oh,
stuff.
the
How long
oils,
does
yeah,
it
the
take?
oils take a while to dry.
Like
The
24
oils take-
hours or?
A couple of days.
Oh, that long? Okay.
If you really want them to dry. But then if you use oils, you put them on cardboard to let the linseed oil bleed out, and that'll make them dry a little quicker,
Oh, okay.
right? So you put your drops of oil on a cardboard stock sheet, like whatever cardboard, and then the oils will come out, and you let that bleed out for maybe a night, a couple hours, and then you use it. It'll dry a lot faster, and you blend it. But then when you're done with it, a couple of days drying, you overcoat it to protect it with like an acrylic clear coat. And then you can do stuff on top of that because that clear coat's protecting it. So again, it's layering upon. I don't like this. I'm going to go over. I'm going to do it. Going to come back and do it. You're constantly going back and forth.
Harvey. Hey, Harvey.
Yeah,
Do you ever use pastels for weathering?
I have. That's a good question. Pastels, like art pastels, it depends on. You got to be careful with pastels because some of them are very chalky, and they don't stick too well. So I would probably stay away from art type pastels. I've tried them. I kind of like powders that are made by Meg AK. They go on like a pastel, and they got to go on a flat surface so they stick. But you can use powders to also weather armor to simulate mud. The thing with weathering armor is it's intimidating to people, some people, because there's so many techniques. What works? There's no magic formula.
Well,
It
tanks get
depends
so
on whether
nasty, you can
it's a
use
desert
anything.
vehicle. So I'm just finishing a Syrian T-72 in 135th in the Syrian Civil War. These didn't have any mud on them, but they had a lot of dust. So if you make powders, you can just push them on and just brush them on and leave them, but then they will lift. So I found that if you put powders all over it and mix them, and then you hit it with Tamiya acrylic thinner, the white cap, which is also banned in Canada now. Anyways,
Great.
then that acrylic will set the powder into the model. A different technique. So yes, you can, but I would stay away from art pastels and stick with more hobby type pastels. And I love powders. Right? They have pencils now. They have all sorts.
Well, now
Somebody said
flipping.
oil pastels too.
Huh?
Yeah, well, the thing with oil pastels, same thing. They're not really meant for models, so it doesn't have that fine, granularity that you need with scale models. It's a little bit thick. So I just found that the only art products that I use from the art store are their Winsor Newton's oils. And if you're going to use oils from the art store, get the high quality, they're costly, but buy the higher quality Winsor Newtons, because the cheaper ones, the pigmentation is just, it's not as fine.
Well, getting back to pastels, or I should say an offshoot of that, was I know you do a lot of dioramas.
Yeah.
And so I know a lot of people use light pastels and the chunky stuff to make various surfaces. So tell me about a few of the surfaces that you make and how you, and don't worry about the grass and the flocking, because we all know how to do that. So
right. So the thing with groundwork is it's not like the old days where you could just go put some lichen and foliage. It just looks fake. And if you watch like guys like Night Shift, you actually have to airbrush your groundwork. You have to. I recently did a project for another veteran in the regiment. The guy's 103, and I did his dingo armored car. I might have sent a picture there.
Got that. That's the picture that I have. Yeah, I'll bring that up while you're talking about it.
Bring that one up. The groundwork, you start with your, foam or whatever, and then you can put whatever, cellular clay, whatever. But then if you want to start finishing it, you really have to airbrush the dirt, like you're spraying a model. But you have to do it in different tones, light, brown, dark, this, that. Same with grass. and then you add the foliage, the rocks and things like that. And you know, the best thing for dioramas is your backyard, like dirt. You go to the park, you get, on those paths, you get little small rocks. The Syrian T72 is an urban, I don't have pictures, I'm still working on it, but there's a lot of crushed brickwork on it. And so I took real bricks from the recent work I did on my house, and I smashed it into a million pieces, and I ground it up into fine powder. And you'll find that if you use natural things like real bricks, you can buy the stuff in aftermarket, but the real stuff has a lot of different tones, light, dark, this, that, the other, and you use concrete. Like you go to local, the best place to go is go to construction sites and just start grabbing rocks. Yeah. They don't care if you're there. Could I grab? They're just going to look at you weird. Well, yeah, help yourself. And then, so you got to get that, and then you go back over with the airbrush to get that tonal variation, because you can't have anything that's either one color. It's got to have a multitude of colors to give it depth. You want depth. There's one other I showed you with a Panzer IV pillbox.
I just zip past that one. I'll go back to it. There,
Yeah.
Oh, there it is, right there. The Panzer IV. The kid
that
playing
one
in the crushed turret.
Well, how do I do concrete? And that one's easy. If you have like styrofoam, there's a great product. I think it's AK. It's the paste stuff. It's concrete. You can brush it on. You can dress it, and then you're going over again with an airbrush, washes tons of stuff. And I always say that if you want to make your model stand out, whether it's a diorama or an aircraft, do so much to it that you keep the modeler's eye on it. The longer a modeler is looking at your model, the more successful your model is, because they're looking for different things, little statues, bottles, this, that. I didn't have time to send you to T72 because I'm still working on it. But I put small cans of 7-Up. I put a Evian water bottle by the tanker crew. Those little things help tell a story. So it's all part of the whole picture, right?
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, because I can tell by this with the Mark IV, it's got apparently what's a poster that's come off the wall that shows you, okay, this is end of war Germany, you know, and
it's actually a Dutch SS poster, and you can see the dogs urinating on it.
Yeah, and also you've got the spent shell casing that showed they tried to put up a fight. This thing obviously uses a pillbox.
Correct.
And
that's the fun part, right? How do you make this thing interesting? And if you're just building a model aircraft, okay, how do you make it interesting? Well, you can make it interesting by applying those techniques I said before. Like, you don't have to be you'll learn. Just layer your colors on. Don't just do a single color. It's kind of boring. Just learn the hobby, learn the art.
Now switching to and now, as they say in Monty Python, now for something completely different. I know you're not a car guy, but getting away from weathering to pristine, I know you do cars on contract.
I do.
So this is really Steve's wheelhouse.
Yeah, there's one there I sent you. It's a McLaren.
Let me bring that.
I got a guy that I built. I don't do a lot of client work, but this guy I do, because he's a high-end guy with some money. I'm just saying, and he only collects cars that Ayrton Senna drove. It's all he does. And I'm working on one for him now, and I know Steve will appreciate it. It's an MFH kit in 1/12 scale of Ayrton Senna's Lotus 98T.
There it is.
Now, I was like, he asked me to search the web. So, and this is not a scratch build. So I'm searching the web, and I say, hey, Peter, I found another Senna car. Oh, what's that? Like, he gets all excited. And I said, it's a 1/12 MFH Senna car. It's a Lotus. And he said, I want it. I said, yeah. But I got to order it from Japan. And it's like $2,000. And he goes, get it. I go, you serious? He goes, yeah. And I said, well,
wait a minute. This is a kit model car for $2,000.
Yeah.
Who makes that?
MFH.
I'm not really familiar with them.
Yeah, Steve probably knows. They're a manufacturer in Japan that make hand built, like the hand machined, multimedia, mostly metal, some resin now, car kits, and they're incredibly expensive. They don't go together like Tamiya kits, and you got to do a lot of work on them. They're not precise, but they'll do cars that you've never seen before. And that one I'm be working on for him as a side project. And so those are the only. Now here's the thing. I'm switching gears. I am working on a car for myself, Steve. I'm working on a NASCAR, and I'm working on a crashed NASCAR, and so I want to do something different, right? So this one is scratch built because what I'm doing is I'm cutting parts off a NASCAR and I'm replacing it to simulate crushed and damaged metal. And I'm using various grades of aluminum foil to aluminum sheet. It's a slow process because I'm learning, but again, I want to do something different. I want to take a model to a car show, and I want the car guys to say, "How the heck did you do that?" That's what drives me. So that's that. Go ahead.
Did you watch the video about the Model Car Kit Museum opening?
No, I didn't.
In Oklahoma?
I did not.
Jim Keeler and Mark Gustafson and Randy Darrah and a couple of those guys, who formed the GSL, they had a museum that was a model car kit museum.
Oh,
in Salt Lake City.
Okay.
Because they wanted to preserve a lot of important things from the hobby.
Interesting.
And they had collections from guys like Dave Schulkes and they had, stuff that they built. And they had a lot of stuff. And it was in a very small building. They funded it themselves. I was fortunate enough to see it because I'm good friends with Jim, and I was out in Utah for a vacation, and he said, "You got to go see the museum. I'll have Mark take you around," and it was spectacular.
Oh, cool.
Well, the problem was that they're getting kind of old. So they were afraid that what happens as we die off,
right?
Where's all this stuff going to go? And they were funding it, themselves. They were paying the rent and the utilities. So they did some research, and it took them a couple of years, and they partnered with the American Museum of Speed in Oklahoma.
Wow.
And they gave them space in the museum.
A fair amount.
They must have spent $100,000 on display cases.
That's no exaggeration.
Now?
You have to see
Yes,
it.
it's there now. They just opened it about 2 weeks ago. We were supposed to go, but just because of a lot of things, we weren't able to go.
Lincoln, Nebraska.
So they have which was in the other museum. One of the guys built a Chevelle in various stages of being destroyed and then restored.
Okay, great.
And that's exactly what you're trying to do. And if you get a chance to go on YouTube and look at the video tour of there's a lot of video tours of this now, but you'll see it in the case. It's about 6 or 8 different models of the same car in various stages of being destroyed and reconstructed.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, maybe Max, you can send me through Steve through Max. Send me a link.
I could send you a link.
I'll give Steve your email.
But again, it's storytelling, right? The model is storytelling, and that's what drags.
Well, you talked about before, about research and having the availability to get pictures, images, things that help, and we talk about that all the time. Because when you go to a museum and there's a particular plane or a particular car or a particular ship, it looks one way in the museum.
Yes.
Which may not be the way that it looked when it was actually in use. And so you kind of have to take all the balls and put them in the air and then say, okay, which one am I going to make? Because
you're an artist. Yeah.
No two are right. Yep. Well, Jim Keeler, who among his many accomplishments, he knew Craig Breedlove. And he would be at Bonneville many times when Craig was there going for the land speed record. So what's so funny, Ken?
Apparently I'm one with the sea, and Ken has a good blow dryer.
Oh, great.
I walked into the water.
So nobody's ever made a model of the Sonic 1, which was the big blue car, which was the second car he had.
Very cool.
So Jim just decided one day he was going to make it.
Right.
So he went and got a block of wood.
Yeah, right.
And carved this thing by hand. Now, we talk about research material, okay? Jim had an edge. he had the original blueprints from the car.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he made this thing, and he used various mediums to do different things on the car, and he sent me pictures all along while he was doing it, because we're pretty good friends. And I said to him, this thing's going to be amazing when he did. Well, it's in the museum. He finished it in time to go to the museum. This is beyond fantastic.
Okay.
I mean, he built the scoop in the front of the car, he made it out of dental, like what they use to make your teeth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, he made the thing out of that. And when you look in the scoop, you can see the front of the engine. And then when you go to the back, he made all the little fins on the, on the end of the thing. He made those out of aluminum. And I mean, the thing is amazing. I mean, you have to see it. When I send you the video, it's in the video. You'll just love it. But I mean, you talk about scratch built. That's,
But Steve, you know what the magic word is? Passion.
Yes.
So
And
passionate.
time.
Yeah.
And time.
I just want to get that thing finished because you're so passionate. That was like me on the sub. I want to finish this thing. And I did in memory of the crew. He did it in memory of the car.
Yeah.
It drives you. But yeah, I'd love to see that.
The key thing is that I find, and I got to admit, I don't build as much as I used to, but with me, I take a lot of time, because when I'm done with it, I want it to look perfect. So I'll do see, then the other problem to that is I'll do one thing, and then I'll wait for that to either dry or the paint dry. Well, I'm going to start on this. Then I have 8 different kits in various stages of progress
I got that
being built.
That problem. Yeah, but if you are building models, you don't have to scratch build. But what I find sometimes you go the other way and just build. I just finished 2 Matchbox kits. You're talking about your previous work in Matchbox. I finished a Junkers 188 for fine scale on how to build
a nice kit.
The nice kit. I also did, just for the club, we did a group build. I did the Matchbox Gladiator. Beautiful.
Oh, that's
He
good.
did a video on
And
that.
that one
which
was
is
out
up
of
there.
box like 2 days with rigging. With rigging.
Now,
And I know that
now
Max
I'm going
wants
to make you talk about the rigging.
We'll talk about the rigging. But that was where you're not scratch building. You're just doing something out of blocks because it keeps you practiced at your skill.
What does
And you're
Steve call it?
enhancing
The other
what
Steve
came
calls
out
it
of the box.
Yes.
The other Steve calls it a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we were out in, Max and I were out in California and with Mike Machat, who I don't know if you know Mike.
Famous aviation artist.
Mike's a very famous aviation artist.
What's his name again?
Mike
Machat.
Okay. Yeah.
And Mike had a YouTube channel for many, many years
I
that
think
was
I have heard of him.
Celebrating aviation with Mike Machat.
phenomenal. So we went to this hobby store that Mike was friendly with the owner, because he lived out there for years, and it was in San Pedro. Max, what's the name of
JD Hobbies? That's Lou.
JD Hobbies. Now,
Oh yeah. Yep.
JD Hobbies is like going to the ultimate flea market for models.
I've heard, and I want to get there. I've heard about it.
I mean, I was meeting Max there and Matt and Mike, and I got there a little early, and I spent like 45 minutes walking around the place. I saw stuff I hadn't seen in 50 years.
Now, mind you,
that 45 minutes doesn't really count because you're kind of in a sensory overload stupor.
Oh yeah. And you talk about Matchbox kits. Now, I like those big 30-second scale Matchbox aircraft kits.
Absolutely.
I was always a big fan of those. And I keep telling Max all the time he's got to build one of them. He had all of them.
That's
and
one thing I don't have is a
whoa.
Matchbox.
But you know what, Steve? Build them. Don't.
Oh yeah. Oh, without a doubt.
It's like, build them. They're so fun.
Since you brought that up, we're going to come back to rigging. But since you brought that up, okay,
right.
There are, and I get some rather animated emails or comments about build, don't build. It's too rare. So I want to get your feedback on that.
Okay.
When you get a rare kit, do you build it or do you keep it in the box?
Okay, behind me, you can see there's a couple of rare kits there. There's some very rare ones behind me. Some very rare ones. In fact, I'm looking over my shoulder. That's an FM kit on the Dornier in 48 scale. I think it's a DO24. There's a Hamlet car up there. They're all very rare. Okay. I like rare kits. I collect rare kits. I'm going to build all of them. I do them because if it's rare, it's hardly seen. I like that. It's kind of like another version of scratch build. We're not have to scratch build, but I'm going to build a rare kit. I'm not going to sell them. I'm going to build them. I don't care. So my philosophy is you know what? Model building is not going to make you money.
No,
okay.
I can attest to that.
There's only going to be maybe 1 in 100 kits, like your car kits, that are super rare that will get you money. But still, it's a demographics thing. We're all aging. Young kids are not going to, oh, that's rare. I'm going to, So you only got one life to live. It's a rare kit. I got it at a flea market or I paid for it. I'm going to build it. So I don't believe in just having a rare kit and leaving it there. You're not going to get your money back. Just build it. And then people are going, what? You build? The other one I have that's rare? I have a ship model. I have the USS, damn the torpedoes, that frigate. Forget who was the Civil War sloop by Aurora. I think it's the Hartford, the USS Hartford by Aurora. Very hard kit to get. I have it, and I'm going to do it. But that one I'm going to super detail. So I like taking rare kits. I don't care how rare they are. I'm going to break it open. I'm going to build it.
But you'll probably enhance it, you being you.
Yeah.
Now, getting back to the rigging, I wanted to come back to that. Talk about what you used. Guys, go out and watch his Gladiator video he put up a few days ago. It was not as bad as it looks from what you were saying. But then again, we got to remember who we're talking to.
Some guys build biplanes without rigging. Fine, do whatever you want to do. I like them because I find if you go to a show, you'll find that any well-done biplane already has an advantage in winning because people are looking, how'd you do that damn rigging? And so that one was a challenge for the club. Everyone's got to build a matchbox kit. I did the Gladiator. Okay, now how am I going to do the rigging? I found that you can buy rigging, like for the Airfix Gladiator. I actually bought a set to look at it. I wasn't too happy with it because it's finicky, it's thin. So I thought, well, what can I use? So I went on Amazon. Now, this is Amazon Canada. I don't know if it's the same products, but I bought like 0.02 whatever millimeter. It's kind of like metal wire, like guitar wire. It's the thinnest you can get. I think it was 0.02 millimeter or something like that on Amazon. It's rigid. It's very rigid. Not the kind that come in a coil. Don't use that. And then all you do is you use a caliper and you measure the distance and you drill a hole. And believe it or not, it's pretty easy once you start snipping it and fitting it in both ends.
You drill your holes before you build the model, though, right?
Yes, on each end. So unlike the old techniques where you use a stretch screw or something, you got to drill a hole in the bottom wing, pull it through like easy line, which is great too. This one, you just do 2 little holes on either end of the strut, in the wing, whatever, and put wire roughly the same, cut, measure, in it goes. I had that thing wired up in about 3 hours, man.
Now, the whole thing. Steve and I went to the Udvar Hazy Museum, and I was telling about this earlier. We were looking at the Sopwith Camel, and I was shocked when I saw how complicated and how much stuff there was. It's not represented in the kits. The clear plate. And the turnbuckles, and I was like, this is a heck. And of course, you're doing things in 1/48 or 1/72 scale. You
don't care.
But
in fact, the cheater's way is build a 70-second biplane. You don't have to worry about. You're doing like a 30-second wing nut wings.
Now and I've got one of those now.
You have to do the turnbuckles. You have to. Well, you don't have to, but we're modelers, right? We got that.
Now, let me point out something. When we went to Udvar Hazy, as we went from plane to plane, and Max very kindly explained each one to me.
Despite his
30 people following us. Because he could have had a job at the museum.
People started following,
So, anyway,
they thought I was a docent.
Getting back to rigging, you can use stretch screw, you can use easy line. Now, here's the other rigging that I've used. I've used human hair. Okay. I'm honored that one of my models, it's a Vickers gun bus. It's the old Pegasus kit. It's rigged up. It's on display at the San Diego Air and Space Museum in their World War I section.
I've been there. I think I've seen that one.
70-second scale. And it's rigged. I don't know if my wife's still here. It's rigged with her hair. Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Okay, I'm just saying, I'm Asian. My wife's Asian, so we got black hair. So we kind of got an advantage over you white guys already. Because of the black
Talk
hair.
about bioengineering.
I'm just thinking, isn't that just a hint on the Dr. Mingala side? I'm using
there
human hair.
I'm just saying, there's some truth to kind of like ethnic superiority. So I think Asians have it because we got black hair. Anyways, and she's got long hair. So now that was done like 20 years ago. No, maybe not that long, 15 years ago. And
So did it turn gray?
I'm getting it.
God.
So okay, now this is true. I don't know if she's still listening. So when I was building it, we're
You'll know
all
when this
find
live
out
stream's over.
on our project. We want the best, right? Like you
Right.
said, Steve. I want it perfect. So I wanted all the choice hair things that are long,
So
good.
you're really going through her scalp. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, not crooked. It has to be all black. So what I did was, she knows now. So I cut the pieces off her head while she's sleeping. So
You couldn't do it out of the hairbrush?
no, I just like she's sleeping. So
No,
she
it's got to have it
no.
straight.
So I'm this one's good, that one's good. I had the little pen light on. She's dozing off, and I'm cutting. You know,
There's
God,
porn
Harvey,
movies that
you're
have,
adding a
like-
whole new dimension to stalking.
so I so in
Does
the
she
morning-
know this?
so- now here's the thing: women know their hair because I don't know my hair. So, but they know. So she's going, how come there's a bald spot? And I go, so she's pretty pissed off. But then she she sees the model, it's in an article, and then she's proud that her hair is on the model. And it's now forever, ever, it's going to be on display permanently at the San Diego Air and Space Museum. I'm just saying. But with human hair, you can actually go. It's actually the problem with the human hair is you can't go back to that same source because it goes gray over time. With all due respect, it goes gray. Doesn't work, right? You can't go in there and snip when it's all gray. I don't want it. So
You didn't save some of this?
no, well, yeah, really. I mean, but I did it. This is true
You
story.
do realize
But
they're probably
then
going to
I-
use
what
this.
color you paint the plane.
You realize they're probably going to use this video, which you're hearing.
She already knows, right? So now I've gone into one of those fake the ladies' hair stores that have the fake, I don't know what they're called. They give you long strip for I don't know the term. The ladies wear them, right? So it's fake, it's synthetic. So I have that stuff now. It's great when you double it up in 70-second scale. You have to drill through the wing. It is so fine. It's almost perfect for that 172nd camel. But human hair works. Sometimes you get through a lot of, can I say this shit for doing it your way? But hey, what's important is it's finished and it's in a museum. That's all I care. I move on now in life.
I'm
Like
working
cars
on a
don't
Jenny
have
right
radio.
now, 172nd from Olymp. Not a great
Wait a
kit.
minute, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I got a comment here. I got to read.
Okay,
From
read it.
Dana-
What's the
From
comment?
From Dana Neal. He says he knows you.
He knows me. I know Dana very well. Very
Yeah, he
talented.
says, dude, how the frick are you still alive? I've met you, right?
I know Dana well. He's a fellow Canadian. By the way, shout out to Dana. He's doing some great figures, like resin figures, 3D printed figures. I got a couple of sets off him for Canadian soldiers. I want to do a diorama in Afghanistan. So shout out to Dana. I've known him for decades. So yeah. But yeah, I managed
Extensions.
to, you know how I got through it? I got through it because when she saw the model, it goes, wow, that's my hair. Now that it's that type of attitude.
Mhm.
Rather than you snipped it off my head and what? So we move on in life.
Harvey, do you
I
watch
want to say
Discovered
something, but I
Cinderella?
won't. But if,
What?
and I know we get killed, canceled, and probably. But I want to make a snarky comment just for the sake of humor.
Go ahead.
But for the first time, I'm actually afraid to. I'm just thinking, so that's all you do to your wife when she's sleeping? But
Oh, no, don't.
and then your honor is when they cut the feed.
I am not advocating for the listeners out there to do what I did to my wife's hair.
Oh,
I'm not
don't
advocating-
worry, their
That's
survival
all
instincts would prevent them from doing that.
Even
That's
I
all
wouldn't
I-
say that. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you
I
guys
think
didn't
that
expect
the
this when we
haircut-
started watching his live stream. We
Yeah,
go
you-
to
yeah.
strange
Dream
places.
Talking about hair though, she got back to me. So in one of my earliest articles in Fine Scale, I think it's in the late 90s, it's on my Japanese aircraft collection. And you know, when you're dating somebody, you do anything for each other because you're dating. You know, I'm just saying, right? I'm not saying that married couples don't, but I'm just saying. So she said, let me perm your hair. Well, of course, I go, well, yes, that would be nice. Well, it turned out to be like a disco perm, and my picture is in the thing. And forever.
Did you have the Bob Ross look?
Yeah, they don't look at my models. They call me Disco Harv, and I go, oh, but you're doing it because.
Congratulations, Harvey. You just gave yourself your call sign for this channel.
Well,
It's now Disco Harv.
pick up that issue. It's like 1998 Fine Scale. You'll see my little hair.
It's Harvey Night Fever.
Lance, he can't use
now
the
it's all
hair from
gray.
a brush. It's been curled up.
Now
Needs a
Harvey,
straight hair.
do you ever watch Dirt Road Cinderella?
No, I can't say.
She does really good weathering techniques on
Oh, really?
cars and trucks. Yeah,
Oh, neat.
really
I
good.
would.
Dirt Road
Rust,
Cinderella
salt,
is the
you
queen
know,
of
that
weathering.
kind of
Sarah
stuff.
Jane is the
What's
queen
her
of
name?
decals.
What's her name
It's
again?
called Dirt Road Cinderella.
Okay.
It's on YouTube.
I will.
We tried to get her to come on the live stream, but she's kind of like camera shy, so you know.
Well, I
But
don't
she
know if I
does great
mentioned-
work.
I think I mentioned it to Max. I'm quite comfortable in front of the camera because during my career at the city, I was like a media contact. So this is very organic and easy
Yeah.
for me. So
Well, it
Easy
makes it
peasy.
easy for us.
Plus, I
Because
talk
we've
good
had a
English. I
few
know I
people
talk
that
good
just you had
English,
to
so.
keep pumping them for questions. They didn't have that much to offer, you know. I mean, they had great resources, but they just didn't volunteer. You had to keep You had to pull it from. You remember Dick Clark, American Bandstand?
Yeah. Yep.
He said one of the worst interviews he ever get, and I actually saw it when it aired in the 80s. Was Prince, and you know he's on stage singing. He's very animated, but as soon as the music stops, you put a microphone in front. He gets just
Oh, really?
and he's like, "So are you da? Yeah." I mean, one word answers. You know, when he wasn't to the music, he was just very quiet and withdrawn. And I was like,
Well, you guys are great. I find this very
Ken's
organic.
got something.
Oh,
Ken?
you'll never have silence here.
No, Ken.
It's perfect.
As Ken can attest.
Like, okay, this is
Hold up, time out.
but in my career,
Harvey. Time out. We got to let
Oh.
Ken. He's raising his hand.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I gotta say this. I don't know how funny this is, but it sounds kind of weird. Sluggo says Canadians have access to French hair.
I'm not sure what that. I keep thinking of poodle for some reason.
I never thought of it that way. I think you'd have to translate it before you use it, but I have no idea.
You speak French?
But do I speak French? It's pretty bad. In Canadian schools, we had to learn it.
So is everybody out of Quebec.
Yeah. But I'm in Ontario. But Dave Forrest, who I do Garage Studio Modelers with, he's from Montreal, so he's fluent in French.
But you speak Chinese.
I speak Chinese fluently. Even though I'm fifth generation, yes, I still speak Chinese. I could do this whole thing in Chinese, but I don't think it would help you.
You never know with our guys.
I don't know. You already corrected me on the pronunciation of Ding Hao to Ding Hua, so
Yes. You know what? Going back to that, I do a lot of traveling now. Is that I'm getting retired, almost there. And I went to Shizuoka, Japan for their big show last year in 2025. I'm off to Telford in November. I plan to go to SMC. I plan to go to Korea and all these places. And I find that regardless of where you're from, this hobby is a universal translator.
Mhm.
Everybody, if you like it,
Yep.
you could go anywhere, even though you don't speak the language, you'll make a lot of friends. Lots.
Same thing happened. I learned being a career pilot in aviation. If you speak aviation, you get with other pilots, everything melts away. It's
There you go. Yeah, my Japanese it's probably as good as my Cantonese Chinese, which isn't great. But there's enough for you even to share a bit with the Japanese guys, and it was great. Like that, I was hosted by the Tokushima Model Club, great guys. Some very famous modelers like Hisao Saito. He's a really, really like top end Japanese modeler, and they were so kind to have me part of their club. So it opens doors.
Yeah, it does. And hey, got you here on the Max's Models live stream, so
Yeah, it's great. And then we'll give a shout out to you. Maybe one day, I don't know how we'll do it, because our garage studio, we're there. I don't think I can get you up to Toronto, but I can give you a shout out.
Well,
If you're up in Toronto, we'll put you on.
If I do get up to Toronto, I got to look up you, Garfield, John Kitt, and a couple other folks that are up in
There you
there.
go.
If I make it up to Toronto, I will make sure everybody knows I'm coming, and we'll find a place where everybody can.
Yes.
Because I think Garfield's in Kitchener. I think so.
Garfield, actually, no, he's in Toronto. He's in the
Okay.
suburbs in a place in a city called Etobicoke, which is a suburb of Toronto. He's a good friend of mine. He's at the Nats now.
We have a nickname for him here because of his name. It's Orange Tabby for the cartoon Garfield, and or OT.
You
He was
know
one of the first
Garfield-
real glue troopers. He was here early.
Well, he's humble, but one of Garfield's models is in the Smithsonian.
Really, which one?
I think it's a quarter scale. It's either a Lank or a Halifax. I can't remember, but it's there. And he's pretty quiet. He also did box art for Hobbycraft Canada. So if you look
Garfield
at
was a
some
box art
yeah,
artist?
so
How did he not tell us that?
You never
humble.
mentioned that.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to write him an email.
if you look at some of the Hobbycraft kits, you know it's his because it says Garfield Ingram in the corner. You'll know it's his. You go to his house, he's got an amazing setup. He's an interior designer by trade. In fact, small world, he was one of my sister-in-laws, was one of his students. And he's just finished, I think he's at the Nats with a Wingnut Wings AEG driven bomber. It's just gorgeous. He showed it to us. So, there's a lot of talent out there, a lot. Right.
I've just been informed by a few people that that's a different Garfield.
I was just thinking. I don't think that's Garfield. Is his
Ingram. Oh, who are you talking about? Which Garfield is it?
okay? We got a different. It's a different Garfield. Okay,
Do you have his last name?
that's what I'm trying to. I'm checking my email here.
No, if you are, it's Garfield Ingram, who's the guy that's got the Smithsonian. He's very humble. You've talked to Maurizio too, haven't you, Max?
Huh?
Have you talked to Maurizio?
Who?
Maurizio, he's the IP Miss Toronto Prez. I think you might have talked to him.
Maybe.
He's
I'm
enough
getting
talented.
some
There's a lot of
serious
talent.
old man syndrome.
We have nothing else to do. By the way, for you Americans who think that it's cold up here, nah, it's blistering hot right now. So
Well, now it's hot, but wait a few months.
John Ashley Smith says me and Bill are in Burlington. Hop, skip, and jump on the QEW.
yeah. Burlington's they do a figure show out there. They got it's great. We're very close to Burlington. I'm very close to Burlington. So we got some connections.
Well, so with all the traveling that you do, as I once did, the best part is you get to go to all these hobby stores in different countries.
Oh yeah. you know what, guys? I hate to say this, but factually, the king at the top of the mountain for hobby stores is Japan.
Oh, I
If
have
you
no
go to
doubt
Tokyo
about that.
or Osaka, you go to Akihabara. Oh my God, you're talking about going to, was it JD Mall? It's like you are on high drugs, man. When you go into these places in Japan, you're like, oh my God. I've seen kits there that are so rare, like I've never seen one, and they're there on the shelves.
Hong Kong's good for that too.
Hong Kong's
Yeah.
good too. Hong Kong's very good. They love their airsofts, so their hobby stores or airsofts are kind of all together. But yeah, they're really good too.
I think it's
I mean-
Garfield. I think it's Garfield Smith.
Okay. Well, Garfields are all good in Maine.
You know, I was in Europe a couple of years ago for a trade show in Cologne. And so I get there and I say I get out of the hotel after I get there and I go, there's a policeman. I said, excuse me, you speak English? He said, yes. I said, could you tell me where there's a hobby store, located? And he goes, oh, yes. He goes, just go down a block there, make a left, and on the opposite corner at the end of the street, there's a red storefront. That's the hobby store. I was like, okay, thank you. So I go down there and I go to the building and I look and it says hobbies. And I walk in and the front of the store is an adult toys store. And the hobby
That's
store
a
is in the
hobby.
back. You have to walk through it.
Oh,
So
there
I'm
is a
saying to
hobby.
myself, gee, I could just picture taking your kid to the hobby store. This is what you have
It's
to go
Same
through.
store.
But the
Guess which store makes more money?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
one
Well, I
keeps the
hate to
doors
say it,
open,
but
the other.
Japan has a lot of hobby stores, but they got those other stores too. So
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret that Eric over at Celebrating Vintage Model Kits and I stumbled onto. We went over to Pegasus Hobbies in LA, near LA.
Okay.
And to be clear, JD Hobbies in San Pedro is absolutely a must do. And it's got a lot of stuff packed in tight. Pegasus is the exact opposite. It's massive.
oh,
Okay. It's like a freaking department store. Okay.
Oh.
And multi-level.
And multi-level. And it's got different rocketry, RC. But when you get down to the kit models area, it's massive. But then
Wow.
you go behind it.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, we haven't priced those yet. And it was over 1,000 vintage kits. They hadn't gotten around to
my
pricing
kind
yet.
of store.
They have a couple of aisles of that, and then they have a bunch
Yeah.
they hadn't got around to. Hold on. But there's more. Behind that are big cardboard boxes of ones they haven't even taken out of the box yet.
Wow.
Now, we thought that was something. We told them, we went in there cold. Eric and I went in there cold, told them about our YouTube channel, what we're doing. And Larry and Eric, different Eric. There's two Erics. Eric's I went with, Eric with a C, and then there's Eric that works there with the Dutch Eric with a K. And Dutch Eric, I think it's Dutch. Anyway, Eric with a K. And they're super cool guys. Okay. And they're kind of like, after they kind of got to know us and warmed up a little bit and realized we're not just weirdos coming in, but they went and watched our channel a little bit, and they said, you guys want to see something cool? And they, given what we'd already seen, we're like, "What, this isn't cool?" He goes, "Oh, but there's more." Now, we were sworn to secrecy and not allowed to take pictures, but we went to their storage facility. This is what they had there on the floor in the store. Their separate storage facility. And Harvey, it sounds like I'm exaggerating, and maybe I am by 20, 30%. But I want you, for a mental image, to picture the last scene in Indiana Jones where he's pushing the Ark of the Covenant to the government warehouse. The
Yeah.
stuff's still in crates. It's still in boxes. And we're like, and there was one old store, long store shelf, that had kits that had been taken out of the boxes to put up there. I found a Renwall Aeroskin 6-pack still in the cellophane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that like you're probably having a heart attack? Yeah.
I refer to it as a styrene mine. We hit
Yep.
the vintage kit mine. Oh, we got a vein here. The thing went for, I don't know, Eric, what was it? 40, 50 meters. Okay. Here, this is a big industrial building. We're just opening boxes. Eric finds a bunch of Airfix infantry kits, from the 70s.
Wow.
We're finding covered, caked in dust. A Revell 132nd L0 store display buildup.
Wow.
Okay. With a dead spider inside. That just, we're like bumping into ourselves every time we open a box. And there's like motorcycles and a Corvette and some other stuff in there, real ones. They put their own stuff. But I'm like, and it goes, there is a row of model, and you'd love this part, Harvey. There was a multi-stack row, as soon as you went into the left, of armor kits that had all been opened, because he goes, oh yeah, that's where we dig out spare when people call us and go, hey, we got this kit from you, but it was missing a runner tree. So each one of them is missing a runner tree or something. I'm like, so the rest of the kit's there. Kit bashers, wet dream.
Yeah, totally.
And then we get to the way back, and it's all these vintage wooden kits from
Wow.
companies I never heard of, not just Guilos and Sterling and Comet. Stuff I never heard of.
Is this place in LA?
It's near LA. It's in SoCal, yeah. Well, it's Pegasus Hobbies. You can go online, but I'm
Pegasus
kind of like,
Hobbies, all right.
It's out by Pomona.
Okay.
I
I don't know
Eric and
about
I
you
are
guys.
pretty much at this point, we're little pair of drooling idiots.
I love going to hobby stores, but there's something about those with vintage kits that's another level for me, personally, right? Because I like rare stuff.
You will spend all your allowance.
Oh wow!
When I grabbed that Renwall 6-pack, because I built one arrow skin as a kid, and I didn't know how to use that glue properly. I was like 8 years old. I made a complete pig's breakfast out of it, right? And I was like, how do you mess up an arrow skin? Easier than you would think. And I was like, I've been looking for one, and the things are kind of stupid expensive. I'm not spending that. But anyway, this was 6 of them, steel and shrink wrap, and everything.
Wow,
They had
that's
to do
amazing.
this towards the end when they're having trouble moving them. They did this
Right.
but I'm like, here's the problem. This is a true artifact, but I know I want to build it, but I shouldn't, but I want to, but I shouldn't. And then I realized I got no way to get it home because I'm going with one bag on an airline. This is going to get crushed on the way, which would give me an excuse to build them. Well, they've been damaged, but I was like, so I just put it on the shelf. There is a point, and the same thing happens with JD Hobbies. There is a point when your brain simply stops taking it. You're looking at something, and your brain won't register what it is because it's still overloaded from the last 5 kits.
Right.
You know,
That happened to me once. I was at a hobby store outside of Detroit, Michigan. My wife was with me, and we're going down one of the holy grails is a quarter scale SM86 resin kit of the Italian dye bar.
Mhm.
It is so rare. It's sitting on the shelf when I'm looking right at it. I go, oh my God, is this real? And my wife found it because she knows I'm interested in weird stuff. Because she actually, my wife actually likes going to hobby stores. She's going to be at Telford. She was at Shizuoka, so she knows what I'm interested. She spotted. Oh my God, I almost like had to go to the washroom right there. Like this is a dream, man. And that's it happened that way. It's like, and I posted it on Facebook, and I got a lot of people. You selling it? You selling it? No, I'm going to build it. Isn't it great?
it is from our point of view. There's Garfield with Garfield Smith. He's with us. Yeah, that's that's Orange Tabby, and
Okay.
so
All right.
there is something because when I first started doing these history videos, really how the channel took off was I just got curious what happened to companies I used to build. So I started doing these history videos. And I'm doing it here on my computer.
Yeah, you do the company histories.
Yeah, and I kind of run out of companies to do. But I got 1 or 2 left. But guys started sending me and I was amazed how many people had some sort of connection to some of the actual companies. And I want to say it was Lindbergh, somebody whose like aunt worked there or uncle. And he started telling me a few stories. And I realized something. For us who grew up building models, they hold a very special place for us. Okay. I mean, that's why we still build them. There's partly the nostalgia, but also we love building them. But we're the end recipient. We're not the ones who have to see how the sausage is made. Some of the people who sent me stuff, their dads made the molds, and he would talk about dad had the mold on the kitchen table, was tinking away on it. You realize these guys dragged this stuff home and were, the artisanship. One guy goes, yeah, I forget it was A&T or Lindbergh, but they lived near the factory. So they would go dumpster diving and get partial kits like rejects and stuff. I got another kit basher's paradise. They opened up a box and there was a piece of a finger in it.
Oh, ouch.
Somebody got it caught in the machinery. And I'm like, and now mind you, this was probably the 60s. It wasn't like today. Today that'd be a $10 million lawsuit. Back then it was just, hey, go to see the nurse, stitch it up, and get back to work. You're on the clock.
That was the 3-in-1 customizing kit.
I hope we got a discount on that kit then.
But I'm just kind of like, for people
the 4-finger discount.
Yeah.
Too soon. But what I realized was for people who worked in those factories, which were not pleasant places to work.
No.
And you realize, and I don't want to oversell this, but this thing that brought us so much joy, there was some blood, sweat, literal blood, sweat, and misery in getting it to us.
Sure.
And you read about guys like Abe Shikes over at Aurora. And a guy like Joe Giammarino, now mind you, I'm getting this from what people have told me and from what I've read. A guy like Joe Giammarino, Mr. Aurora, is the kind of guy we would love, if he was still alive, we'd love to have him on this podcast. He'd be, he loved models and everything. He was a real character. Andy Yancey's telling about it. But his partner, Abe Shikes, was a tough old businessman the tough old, New York businessman who was running around screaming at people they didn't turn off lights on the left room. This electricity ain't free, and you realize for him, for a guy like Joe, or maybe the boys at Atlantis, Rick and Pete, they love what they're doing. That's because they can't be doing this to make much money. So they got to love what they're doing. And they're our kind of people. But a lot of people in this business, like Shikes, it was just a business. I'm here to make, he'd be just as happy making doorknobs, if it made more money.
Yep. But then, on that, it was in Shizuoka. We had a tour of the Tamiya factory. Everything's like surgical clean. Everything's like modern, metal molds. Everybody's protected, but it's modern a different world.
Did you ever see the Trumpeter factory?
I have not. No.
They have a room where they have about 50 CNC machines that are cutting molds all the time.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. What
And
they
they're
did.
owned by an electronics company.
Oh, I didn't know
That's
that.
where all the money comes from.
Yeah, the Tamiya plant were producing a 1700 Gabati kit, and you could they were producing them while we were there, and you could actually buy it right off and it's warm. The plastic's warm. Like, it's amazing.
I tell you, the company that dwarfs them all was Bondi.
Bondi,
You
yeah.
know, the Bond girl, Steve.
The what?
It's like I just says in capitals, hey, ask the guest who's the hottest Bond
Bond
girl ever.
Okay. Who's the hottest?
That's not off topic at all.
That's totally off topic.
All right, gentlemen. Then on that point, I will put up the official
But
live
that's
stream
how
is
it runs
over.
here.
If you're asking me, I have no idea. All I remember, I'll tell you, seriously, the only Bond girl I remembered when I was young was Jill St. John in whatever.
Diamonds are forever.
Diamonds are
That's
forever. Well, she'd certainly be a contender.
You're a kid in the movie. Wow, that's interesting. So that's all I remember.
So that's what girls are for.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, the official live stream's over. We have now gone into total BS mode. So carry on.
You know, talking about Bond though, another project I have is I've got the Aston Martin. I think it's.
Oh, Steve, he's singing your song.
You singing my
what?
song?
Here's the thing, Steve. I'm gonna crap that thing to nothing. So in one of the new Bond films, I forget which one, it's riddled with bullet holes. That's what I want to do with it. I'm gonna.
Yeah, that was in No Time to Die.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that one with all the. Because, like I say, I have to do something with them different with a model, unless it's a simple palette cleanser.
Which kit are you using?
Aoshima, I think. Did
Yeah.
Aoshima do one in 24th or 20? I have that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that's a good kit.
And I'm gonna do it. I just gotta figure out, see, here's problem solving. How do I kit bash that thing to have a lot of bullet holes in it? So the car I'm doing now, the NASCAR, and I'm starting it, that's Dale Earnhardt's car, where he actually flipped it and it rolled and he got back in to finish the race. I've got a ton of pictures of that car. That's the car I'm doing. And again, references. I got a ton of pictures of that because they're all over the web.
There's an easy way to do that one. You just build it nice and then
And
put it
throw it.
next to your Godzilla model for a few hours and
There
come
it
back
is.
and it'll all
There
Here
be.
we
it
go. Okay,
Okay.
842
Now
Godzilla
that brings up,
reference.
do you ever build any kaiju or figures or characters?
Myself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Just recently, I just finished doing 3 more serious figures for my Syrian T-72. I don't consider myself a figure painter, but I do them, and I wouldn't say they're the greatest. I was lucky enough to, when I went to Singapore, I was given a tour of the city by Calvin Tan. Everyone knows who Calvin is. And so, yeah, I do figures. I do have a Gundam model. I want to do a Gundam model. I'll do any. My problem is I do everything in any scale as long as it resonates with me.
See, part of me wants to just send you a Godzilla and a King Kong and let you kit bash those and see what twisted thing your mind comes up with.
I would have to cut it up. So
I could just see an ape on top of a lizard body or something. Or
I got to cut it up. So one of the Garage Studio Modelers episode that just came out either this morning, I'm cutting up the new Tamiya Chafee.
Yeah, I saw you're going to turn that into. Now you turned one of them into a.
Yeah, I'm turning it into an M41 Gorilla howitzer from Korean War.
Okay, yeah. And by the way, I watched that video, and if you really want to make something cool, I think it was during World War II, they took, I think it was a Chaffee, and put a 650 caliber anti-aircraft turret on it.
I did not.
It was an experimental. They didn't field it, but I thought that would be cool. It had a turret, but it had 650s.
I would do that. I would do it. It's got to be weird.
It looks so wrong.
One of the comments I got, I can't remember what it was. He says, Harvey, all you could do is build weird shit. Okay, that's what I do. I build weird shit.
That's your groove. I mean, what do we
It makes
expect
you
from Disco
happy.
Harvey?
Yeah, I was honored, and I don't have an issue yet, but the Military Motorcraft International out in the UK, David Grummett's the editor. I don't have the issue yet because it's hard to get in Canada. But they've interviewed me. They want to interview me on my kit bashes of armor kits. So that's in the current issue. Once I get a hold of it, I can see what it looks like. But I think it's nice to know that people are interested in my work because it's just weird.
Yeah, well, I remember as a kid, I was playing with a couple of monogram tanks that I had. When I found out that I think it was the Panzer IV turret would fit on my Patton. I may have the wrong kits, but I'm swapping turrets on every tank I could just because I'm inventing new tanks. And
Why not?
But
What?
the one tank you can't kit bash because if you build it out of the box, people will think it's a kit bash if they don't know armor. They'll go, "That's a joke." Is the KV2.
KV2, okay.
You know, with that gigantic and the big 152. You
Yep.
look at that and you're kind of like, I got nothing.
Yep.
You know, I mean, there's simply no improving that for weirdness.
No, there's
But-
a lot of weird stuff I still want to do. I got so many projects on my go. In fact, I'm looking at it right now. I just finished. Are you ready?
Mhm.
I just finished a Breda BA201 aircraft, but you don't know what that is.
That's the Italian multi-engine job.
No,
Yeah.
it's an Italian single engine.
Oh, it's- okay.
Their version of the Stuka.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I was thinking the Beretta, the one that had the weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
Yeah.
describe it.
So this one, I do these projects. I usually go for the stuff that people don't normally build, like old resin or vacuum form kits. I'll do them because nobody else done them. And this one I got at a flea market at one of the hobby shows in New York State. And it's a rare kit, and it's the 201. I said, I'll do that. No, they're really horrible. Like nothing fits. It's resin, but I want to do it because no one's going to build it. So this one, I looked on the web. Has anybody built one? I found one person built one. Now I've got one. So that's what drives me too.
Well, this little Olymp 172nd scale Jenny I'm building, I was thinking, the everything's so delicate on it. I'm like,
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
going to try and rig this with these time. And then I go online, I see a dozen of them that people have rigged with everything a monofilament to easy line. I'm like, I'm still not going to do it. I ain't got the eyes and patience. But the thing, if I'm going to rig, I have rigged my share of 172nd scale biplanes, and I swore after I did those 4 Douglas World Cruisers,
It's
never
tough.
again.
It's very tough. It's a catch-22 because you can do it without the little details, but it's harder on the eyes. Like
I have learned
gave
one
up about
trick.
700 ships.
Well, I've learned one trick where 172nd scale biplanes are concerned. You can rig the big X cables on the wing bays and maybe between the struts and just leave it at that, and it create the eye fills it in. It creates the illusion of being fully rigged.
You know what? That works too. That goes back to if you're scratch building, you don't have to put every little nut and bolt. You're an artist. So how far do you take it where you don't have to do everything to it? It's good enough. One of the toughest things with model building is knowing when to stop. Even with weathering. That's enough. Don't keep going.
How many of us screwed up a model that was okay and we decided to make a change and it went south on us and now
Right. You know, I had a discussion with one guy in one of our clubs. I won't mention his name. Great modeler, but then he built something. I looked at it. He goes, "It's not quite your best." You know why? Because he took the ABC of step-by-step modeling to the extreme. So it was an iron model. He said, "I got to dry brush. I got to apply a wash. I got to do every little technique known," and it became overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to use every armor weathering technique in every product. You have to think about it and just choose what works.
When it comes to doing like the exhaust, like on that B25, I use the weathering kits from Tamiya, but I've learned, okay, lay down some silver. Okay,
Yes.
so it looks like metal. Then lay down some of that blue, okay, to give the heat treat look. Then lay down touch a little bit of rust on there, blow it off, and then lay your black soot. Your eye will do the rest. That's all you need.
Correct. I find exhaust the toughest. There's a picture of my quarter scale B17, which is also a kit bash. It's actually a B17 early version like without the turrets. It's not a G version.
I've got
It's-
one of those. It's and it has the gondolas.
Yeah, so that's 48 scale, which I kind of kit bashed with a Cosper kit to make it an early version, early Pacific B17 version.
Is that
The
green one that you did?
Yeah,
It's
in fact, that's the
all
one that's
super
being
weathered.
stored.
Yeah, I got that
Yep.
picture here.
So that one, if you call it up, the exhaust, I had to study to no end how the exhaust pattern happened on B17s because you do it wrong. Every B17 guys, you did it wrong.
They'll
You know
spot
how-
that in a heartbeat.
Right. So the air, the vents, they don't come out of the vents, they go around them on the B17 exhaust pattern. You see the little vents on the top of the wing?
I'm still trying to get to her.
It goes around those vents. A lot of maulers do it from the
There
vent.
it
Well,
is.
it doesn't work that way. And I said, well, again, problem solving. How do I do that? So I built these little styrene fences and I put them where those vents were and I sprayed the exhaust like it was the air going around them and it worked. It's all about, right? It's all about experimenting.
Having flown radial engined aircraft a little bit, the thing I've learned when you want to do there's a difference between the soot that comes from the exhaust, which is why like the T-28 Navy trainers had the big black stripe over the wing.
Yeah,
So they had to keep clean because that has a collector ring that puts it out of one exhaust.
right.
A lot of the earlier, like the B-25 it just did, I had to put a little soot on every one of those little bumps because they each had a short pipe sticking out.
That's right.
So you have to, you have to stay. But the thing is that what a lot of you're looking at is not exhaust. Some of what you're looking at is trapped oil
Sure, for sure.
because they leak
Yep.
and the crud that gets on the wings, the dirt attracts the dirt.
Right.
And,
And B-17s were notorious for being dirty.
That's like
So-
guys who
so-
weather the airplane and they weather it uniformly. And like airplanes don't weather uniformly. The top of the wings, top of the fuselage are usually more sun beaten or weather beaten than the sides.
And that's why I like weathered aircraft. It gives me the additional creativity.
It also
Right.
tells a story. You see the faded
It
red
does-
dots and
It
everything.
does
You're like,
tell a story.
this airplane's been rode hard and put away. Wait, it's a utility
Yeah.
machine.
Japanese aircraft at the end of the war didn't use primers. That's why the paint's lifting off.
I know why too. I covered in one of my videos is that we bombed the factory that made the primer,
Yeah.
and
That's why they're chipping all over the place.
you
right?
cannot overweather a late war Japanese aircraft. Hey,
No,
you can
can't.
pretty much. It might almost be easier to paint it aluminum and just dot a little green on it. Yeah. But,
So I think the ultimate is when you kit bash or scratch build something and you just stress the hell of it. It really captures the attention of modelers because it's different.
I have the honor of having right on my shelf right here. I didn't even think to take a picture of it or bring it out. It's a Dornier 335, the little Lindbergh kit.
Yeah.
That was kit bashed by Tom Daniel.
Oh,
Yeah, that Tom Daniel.
Wow.
And he did it 40 years ago.
wow.
His work, he sent it to me naked, unfinished. He goes, Max, I never will finish this. I'm too old now. And I put it aside because, it's life. He had given it a high inverted gull wing. Hey, you know what? Let me just get it.
Okay. And while you're off grabbing it, maybe we should talk a bit about. Let me ask a question to you guys. How much bench time do you guys do?
Well, now that I'm retired, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Depends-
my. Go ahead.
Depends what I'm working on.
Right? Really, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the longest time you spent at the bench? The longest time?
At 6 hours.
6. I'm at about 18 hours.
Jeez.
Is that the shit?
I usually fall. If that happens, I fell asleep at the bench.
Oh, there
Okay.
you go. Oh, neat.
Let me put a piece of paper behind
What's the
this so
longest
you
it
can
ever
see
took you to make a kit?
The longest?
Yeah.
I'd say a couple of years, probably like 3 years on the. Again, there's some pictures there. My Japanese engineering vehicle with an interior. That took about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, 2 years is my tops.
The quickest
built
for
it-
me is about 24 hours.
I built a garage kit for a client
Right.
of the supercar from the Jerry Anderson series.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
It was 1/12 scale, and it was a
Oh,
garage kit.
Nice.
It was vac formed and resin. Came with no
Wow.
instructions.
Beautiful.
And the hardest part was trying to figure out how to get everything to go together and brace everything internally so the wings
Yeah.
wouldn't rip out of the side and the fins
Right.
wouldn't go. And I used to have to walk away from it for like a month at a time because.
But you finished it.
Oh yeah, it came out. I wanted to keep it when I was done.
But you gotta admit, that piece that it would go on a table would sure turn eyes, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It was spectacular. I was impressed. Even I was impressed that it came. And I'm usually
Right.
not that impressed with my own builds.
But think of it, Steve. When the reason I do it is you want that attention. Now, okay, I'm not knocking anybody that wants to build a Tamiya 135th Tiger One. Great, but you see a lot of those.
Just dawned
Right?
on me, Harvey, you're not online, so you're not seeing the little thing I set up, so I'll hold this up behind it. But
Oh, okay.
this is the Lindbergh 1/72nd scale Dornier 335 that TD modified. He did the wings, the fuselage, the extended, good Lord, everything's backwards when I'm doing this.
That's
The
great.
extended nose, okay?
Yeah,
He sent it to me unfinished. I finished it, so I did the gear doors, the props.
That's cool.
Found a camp. God, this is terrible.
that's 72nd, huh?
That's
That's
170.
big.
Yeah. But anyway, his work on the wings and everything, cutting them and resealing them, perfectly symmetrical, no flaw. I was like, good God, that's clean work. The gun pods, the cheek pods, right? Let's see if I can get them where you. It's got cheek pods
Yeah.
with 30 millimeters on it on both
Wow.
sides. He
Very
did all,
cool.
and it's all sanded down out of wood. And
Wow.
I was like, geez, I was like, it took me a month or two just to finish it because I was so worried about not living up to the standard he'd set. And you
That's
live a good
cool.
life.
Oh,
That's
so-
the thing that keeps you up at night.
Oh, so are we still on the air?
Oh yeah.
We're officially the live stream officially as the model building live stream is over, even though we're still talking about models. But that way we can drift. We were drifting to so many other subjects. I figured, yeah, we're done.
So I got to watch my mouth. No bad language. You get it? Okay. But getting back to scratch building, you don't have to scratch build. But I encourage you guys, if you haven't tried it, like, don't throw away anything. Keep all the spare parts you
I
can.
got boxes of stuff,
boxes.
including broken kits.
Right. And you know what? Use them. Use
Oh.
them to super detail.
We did a kit bash group build a while back.
Yeah.
I kit bashed a ME-262 into a rocket plane.
Right.
I replaced the engines with rockets. I took a 148 scale 335, put a jet in the tail,
There.
and a contra rotating prop on front.
Right. So right.
Turned a Stuka into a drone. Oh, it was so much fun.
Right.
Because your
So you don't
imagination.
have to- right. Your scratch building doesn't have to be a real subject. It could be anything you want. Right.
Well,
But
that's what virtually every
doing subjects.
that's what virtually every Hollywood, like science fiction model. You've done this. I guarantee every one of us has watched some sci-fi movie, cheaper, sleazy, or top shelf, and at some point we've identified kit model parts on one of the ships.
Oh, absolutely. I do that.
That's a transmission off of a Panzer. I recognize that, and do you remember a silly, stupid little kid show with Bob Denver from a Saturday mornings called, was it Far Out Space Nuts?
No.
Where him and Chuck McCann are stuck in a lunar module running around the galaxy in a lunar module. Yeah, okay. We'll just disregard everything that's wrong with that. But they land on some planet, and one of the, and mind you, this is a Saturday morning kid show, so it's made on a super tight budget, especially for special effects. And as we're walking across the background, one of the vehicles of some other alien that was destroyed by these people is, you remember those little plastic guns that had a disc on it? You pull the trigger and the disc would spin off. Okay,
Yeah, I used
it's
to have
glued
one.
on to a model tank chassis.
Wow.
And I was like, painted one color. I was like, I might have to do that now just because. Yeah. But I immediately recognized, I know what that kit is and I know what that toy is.
Yeah, never throw out spare parts. And especially some kits now, they give you all the options to build everyone. You don't need all the parts. Throw them in the spare part. I got like 6 spare parts boxes, huge with.
I've got, in fact, it's funny you should mention that. Just this past month, I've been thinking, I've got so much crap left over. I was even saving old runner trees, which I really need to throw those away. But I have got so many parts left over. I tried to organize them, all the wheels here, all the landing gears here, and it works for a little while. But then everything gets, and I'm like, I have got to get this stuff organized because it's not insignificant amount of my shed is all this stuff stacked up.
You know, when you mention that, here's another way that you can speed up your building. So I do a lot of armor. When you're painting stowage, like jerry cans or something, why do one or two? Do like 50 of them.
Right. Have them ready to go on the shelf.
Do them all at scale of economies, right? And then you take the ones that they're all finished, you put them in a box ready to go for your next project. So you don't do little things, one or two.
I also don't get too uptight about the scale. Like if I have some 140 scale jerry cans from an old Revell kit and I have a 135 scale truck, I don't mind putting it in there. No one's going to notice.
No one's going to notice.
You know?
No.
And the nice thing, I actually did a video on this recently. The nice thing about 135th and 132nd scale people is people are different sizes. So you can pretty much use those interchangeably.
Yeah.
And I've got all these infantry guys that are from the old Revell and the old Monogram infantry sets. I did a video on that recently. And I try to crank out a video a day. But I was thinking, you know, what I'm going to do, and I've already got them set aside and partly painted. I got to fix some of the guns. And that's fun. Those tiny little barrels on guns and everything. Because, you know, anyway, when I get them all fixed, what I want to do is I want to make a little piece of wood about yay so big with some hedge row and everything. And all these guys permanently glued in place, like setting up an ambush or something, so that whenever I want to, whether it's a kaiju or a tank or what, I can just set this in front of it as like set dressing for, you know.
Yep. You know, I related to that, I was in Japan in 2025, the Shizuoka show. I rented a car so I could get to all the museums. One museum north of Tokyo is an armor museum. It's on a Japanese self-defense force base. They had two very rare Japanese tanks. And when you look at those things and you look at pictures, I don't collect military, but I actually have a World War II Japanese tanker's jacket. These guys were small.
Oh, yeah.
So when you look at all the figures of the tank crews that they make in the major company, the only criticism is these guys were very small. Yet when you look at the figures, they're all the same height as. Okay, I get it.
Russian tankers.
Tiny guys, and the hatches were tiny.
What do the Russians have? A 5'6" height limit to be a Russian tanker? Something like that, because that's how they keep the low silhouette.
That's it. That's right.
Yeah, it's an old Hollywood trick. They'll dress kids up and make half scale sets.
Yeah.
And you'd be amazed how much money they save doing that.
Yep.
And
Hey, Max.
yeah.
Fast Sports is online.
Oh, hey, John. We were just talking about you. Yeah, John uses 135th scale figures on his slot tracks. And and even at 124 scale, half the time people don't even notice because they're just like I said, the eye fills in.
Sure.
And
sure.
But yeah, John's up there in Toronto also.
Oh, okay. Great. And I recall you telling me slot cars.
You hit the slot cars thing. We're going to have him as a guest here at some point also. And he and Steve are both mega car guys.
Remember Autofile? They were a big car. They're gone now. Autofile. If he's in Toronto, he'd know it. Autofile on Mount Pleasant. They're gone. Mm-hmm. But they did car models. You know, 133rd metal slot cars. The whole. A lot of stores are closing now.
Oh yeah. Every industry has its day.
Sure.
You know? And then times change. And I mean, the kit model industry has held on.
And it has.
But I have a theory that it's actually enjoyed two golden periods: the late '60s, late '50s to the late '60s, and now. But they're very different golden periods. Back then, was everybody. 2/3 of the boys in America built models, so they had a golden period in high sales. Now it's exact opposite. They don't sell that much stuff, but look at we have more models available now than we've ever had before. Right down to the specific airplane at a specific day.
Right? Very serious modelers and buying the high-end resin and all this stuff. That's the only difference. I can tell you in my travels in Japan in particular, the number one selling, this is from my eye, are actually Gundam kits.
Oh, yeah. No, I when I did Bandai, I found out that Bandai sells 30 million kits a year.
Yeah.
Nobody else comes even close to that.
Yep. I stayed at the hotel in Odaiba where their headquarters is, and they're by far. I talked to some of the shop owners. Military is big, but it's not nearly as big as Bandai.
It's Gundam, cars, and military. Aircraft being the largest, followed by armor. Probably at the bottom of the list would be ships. I don't even know where figures fall in there anymore.
Yeah,
Like
our
like
local
kaiju.
club in Toronto, we've got a big club. We've got about maybe 40 guys coming out to our chapter meetings. We have some young guys there. They're all Gundam. Most of them are Gundam.
We have a few young people here, and Scale Modeling Apprentice and others are very young. And my guess is when he's our age, he's going to have all of our old kits. So he's probably going to inherit more than he could possibly build. But
well, you know what? I know we're talking in circles here, but you know, you're thinking, why do I build this masterpiece? Whether it's an Anderson car, you kind of I like the process, right? It's the process. The end product.
What's your favorite part? What's your favorite? With me, it's painting and decaling are my favorite
Oh,
parts.
is it? You know what I like? The most satisfying part of any process of a model is by far when you're removing the masks off canopies.
Yes. And the magic happens.
Oh, wow.
It's like an unveiling.
Unveiling, unless you screwed it up, then that's different. But generally, you could take those panels off and go, "Wow, that's my favorite."
Do you seal them with clear coat or anything, or floor wax before you paint them?
Well, the canopies I always dip in Future.
Before or after you mask them?
Before.
Okay. Do you use anything like that after to help seal the capillaries and the tape?
So what I do is once I use Kabuki Tamiya tape for the masks. And by the way, I use my Cameo 4 cutter to make my own canopy masks. I designed those too. And it was once you put those on, I seal them with usually a lacquer based paint. Okay. So nothing in them. Because if you don't, now here's the thing: if you don't, and then you attempt to spray Tamiya primer, it's going to get right under it. Yeah,
that's even with Tamiya mask. I've noticed that if you do, that's the capillary action I'm talking about.
Yeah, right.
And I usually zap it with clear lacquer or something, a gloss.
Yes.
And then let that harden. And it does, that doesn't always guarantee. Some guys will actually take a little floor wax and just go down with a toothpick around the edge.
Yeah.
The problem I have with that is sometimes when you peel it up, it takes some of the paint.
Yes.
So.
But that to me is the secret. And like you say, stuff always happens. But you can always see if you coat the canopy in Future, and you find that there's some capillary that's gone underneath. You take a toothpick, because the Future makes it shiny. You can just
now
take it off with the toothpick.
Now it's time for the show. It's customary. We ask Ken, "How's your boat?"
How's your boat?
He has a sailboat. He's always dying to talk about his sailboat. He sits there quietly for 2 hours and monitors a thread. So we go to him. How's the boat, Ken?
How's the boat, Ken?
The boat is still floating.
That's a good sign.
Yes, it's a very good sign. But because last weekend I was up here, I was not able to get to the shower caulking, unfortunately. So I think we're going to go back tomorrow morning, and hopefully I'll get out there and finally finish that thing.
Oh,
because then I have to go work on the windlass, because there's water in the oil, and anytime you put water inside of machinery, bad things happen.
So how big is your boat?
I don't own a boat.
It's a 38-foot Catalina sailboat.
Nice. But it's got a modeling room on it too. That's cool.
We have built a model on it. We actually did a live stream, and I built a model in real time of a boat.
Well, I tell you, you know the best place if you want to relax is bring a kit on a cruise ship. Because I get up a lot early. It must be my military life. Your body gets you up early, and nobody's in the buffet area. I would just stand away while watching the ocean pass. You can't get more serene than that. No, you're not gluing or spraying. You're just sanding stuff.
I bring a kit model with me on a cruise. My wife's going to chuck me. It better be a model of a life jacket. But
Garfield says, the plus after show is finished. Now it's time for a voyage to the bottom of the sea with Admiral Ken.
Steve, what do you got on the table right now?
Let's see. I'm doing an Accurate Miniatures Grand Sport Corvette.
Ooh.
I'm doing this 18th scale die-cast mini that this guy that I build a lot of kits for bought and wants it to be painted like the one in the Italian Job with Michael Caine. So I got that. And then there's, what else is there? I got a couple of resin kits that I bought. I got I got a 69 AMX 3D resin printed. That's really an interesting kit. Came with a lot of parts. I was amazed.
And the nice thing about 3D printing, you don't have all that resin flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Steve. You're the car guy. Does anybody do a 1966 Zephyr?
Now,
Yeah, it's the car my dad had. I want to build it, but there's nobody. I didn't think anybody did one.
yeah, the problem is it's a Canadian car, not a,
Yeah, I get
you
it.
know,
Was it a
It's not
Canadian version of an
tiny-
American car, or was it strictly Canadian? Original design.
it was an American car that they Canadianized.
Is it something that you could kit? They make a kit of the American version that you could
It's
modify.
got different grill and different
Yeah.
stuff.
Well,
You
this is what he
could, but
does.
you'd have to make a lot of stuff.
That's
Right.
That's his wheelhouse.
There you go. Maybe one day.
Slow is on a roll tonight. Says Trump shot at Ken's boat once leaving Colombia.
But he missed.
Wow.
But you already kind of orbit the stratosphere of modeling, but I have been very blessed that I've been able to get to deal with people like Tom Daniel, Jim Keeler, yourself, and a bunch of others that came on the live stream or just got talked to them on the phone. I got talked to the boys over at Atlantis and Alan Urey over at Fantastic Plastic. And what astonishes the crap out of me is that these people ever get into this business. When you think about how high the barrier is, and Alan Urey was telling me that he has a mold maker, a guy that cuts the patterns for him because he does resin kits.
Right, right.
And I'm like, and you talk to him for about 5 minutes and you realize, first off, he's got way too much energy. I mean, the guy is, but I'm like, but he loves what he's doing.
That's the key, right?
Yeah.
Either the project drives you or the hobby. I love it. I average, now that I'm semi-retired, I average about 8 to 10 hours a day.
See, I do about half that.
Yeah.
I do 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But I spend that other 4 making the video for the day. So that's okay. Ken's got his hand up. Ken.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ken.
Okay. This is interesting. Bill Paul says, Harvey, if you want a weird piece of armor, during the 50s, there was a Sherman at Cape Canaveral where the gun manulet, I guess is what it's pronounced, was replaced with a 4-inch thick window and used as a rolling blockhouse.
Oh, geez, I'd do that. I'll look it up.
I'll tell you one you could do, but one of our guys already did. Don Gilchrist. You ever hear of something? It's not the Sharon. The Israelis during one of the, I forget if it was the Yom Kippur War, the 6 Day War. I think it was the Yom Kippur War. Their Phantoms could not get close enough to the SAM sites. The SAM outranged the Shrike. Okay, so the Israelis took a Shrike missile, put a booster on it, a second stage, and mounted them on ramps on Sherman chassis.
Oh, wow, that's cool. That's pretty
cool. Kill Sean, I think is what they called it.
I'll look it up.
He did one. He sent me some pictures of it. He kit bashed, beautiful work. And I love rockets. I mean, I grew up in the space program. Rocketry is one of the, and I've got a couple of the launch pads I'm going to make here, the repopped Jupiter Seas. Yeah. Anyway, simplest kit you can make and most complicated because the gantries are, but if you are going to make a gantry or a bridge or something that has that kind of structure, do you have any kind of go-to for that? Because I know Airfix used to make like structure material, or do you just scratch build it?
You know what? I find that the best places to do that type of work are, for me, model train stores. And I just go to hardware stores looking for stuff. Supermarkets where a bottle cap might come in handy. Like I'm a weird guy. I'll go to a hardware store not because I'm looking for tools, because I'm looking for something that would help my modeling, right?
I'm in the jewelry section at Michael's looking for necklaces to use as anchor chains. So I completely get that.
Go to your local. Here's the thing: go to your local dentist. They go through those drill bits in their teeth, like they throw them out and they're sharp. So my dentist gives me tons of them that they've already sterilized because they're too dull, but they'll cut through plastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then go to the jewelry store or a store that sells jewelry tools like pin vices that are super, super small. So just go look for stuff like that. you'd be amazed what you find. But you ask your dentist, they probably give you the drill bits, and they'll fit right in your Dremel.
Nice.
Right.
Because nothing ever went wrong with styrene and a Dremel.
Yeah.
It never gets out of hand.
Nope. Nope.
Well, we shot right past 9 o'clock tonight. We're having too much fun.
Yeah. Maybe we should wrap up. But like I say, I'm
Yeah.
taking the lead from you guys. Whatever you're.
Oh yeah,
you're-
it's about that time. Normally, what we do is we sign off on the live stream, run the outro, so people can chat with each other for a little while.
Sure.
And
I hope
and-
that's what you and your listeners were hoping for. It shed some light on something that would be helpful. That would be great.
You're a great guest. You
really are,
really
'cause you carry
informative
your
and covered a
end
lot of
very well.
topics, and we're glad to have you on.
Thank you. It was really hard for me not to swear, so I just did that.
yeah, we all have to watch ourselves because trust me.
Oh,
Go
my-
ahead, Ken. Yeah, Harvey's not watching on YouTube's Ken, so he doesn't see when you raise your hand. He's not being rude. Go ahead, Ken.
I know I'm not. Yeah, I can't see what's going on YouTube. So if I'm ignoring somebody, it's because I can't see what's happening.
So
Okay,
Ken,
Francis, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Farico?
yeah, that's Fran.
Yurko,
Fran.
that's Fran.
Okay.
That's Fran.
Great LS tonight. I truly enjoyed the banter and conversation. Harvey, thanks for both your insights and more importantly, your enthusiasm. Everyone have a great and blessed week ahead.
Thank you. It's
Well,
an honor.
Okay, the thing we do when we sign off, Harvey, is everyone says goodbye, however they want to say it, and then I close out the live stream, but the Zoom keeps going so we can still talk to each other.
Sure.
And so, Ken, I'll let you kick off tonight.
I get to talk. I can talk.
You got 5
All right.
seconds. Say your goodnights.
Okay, you're done.
and
That's
that
it.
was Ken.
Thank you.
That's what I get. Okay. Thanks for coming tonight, guys. It was a great conversation with Harvey. Really appreciate having him on, his insight. And thank you for coming. Appreciate that. And thanks for all the other guys for showing up.
Steve.
Guys, as always, we're glad that you come and spend some time with us and listen to whatever insanity we're able to put out there. And we've had a lovely, wonderful, informative guest, and we hope you come back next week.
Harvey.
Thank you, guys. It's an honor. To all the listeners, thank you.
Now, guys, thanks for coming out. Hopefully, we'll see you next week. Ken and I are off to the simulator on Thursday and Friday. So
Ooh.
they're going to fly 737 some over at the Delta Museum.
Full motion 3D simulator, just
Woo-hoo.
like they used to train. Max
God,
used to
it's like
fly
going back
training
to
missions
work.
on.
Didn't know that. I know you were with JetBlue, right?
Yeah.
Max?
20 years.
Right.
All right, guys, take care as always. Model on.
Hey! Hey! Hey, Max, hit go. Tonight's the show. Harvey Low is here. Bring the whole front row. The sprue to shine. He takes his time. Little parts come alive. Line by perfect line. Glue troopers, tune in now. This is the good stuff. to the final trim. He turns plain pieces into something that sings. So come on in, pull up close. This is how the real ones build what they love most. Harvey Low, model maker of model makers. Harvey Low, scratch built dreams and fearless layers. Tune in now, don't let it go. Max models, here we go. Harvey Low, we are ready for the glow. Hey. I took a picture of my last kid. He's out of focus. I'm fixing it. I use an autofocus and then I redo. Oh, it's in color. The wings are green. The belly's light gray. It's looking mean. I like to build them when there's no one else around. I take a picture, another picture. I use a gray card and a light box as well. I want a camera with telephoto to take a picture of the inside as well. You got me building, yes I'm building, yes I'm building, yes I'm building, yes I'm building Japanese. Oh yes, I'm building Japanese and no I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes I'm building Japanese and no I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes I'm building Japanese and no I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes I'm building Japanese and no I won't stop. I built Tamiya and Hiroshima and Hasagawa when I find them on sale. I build an airplane or a kaiju, cause I'm a creative, intelligent male. You got me building, yes I'm building, yes I'm building, yes I'm building, yes I'm building Japanese, oh yes I'm building Japanese and no I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes I'm building Japanese and no I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes I'm building Japanese and no I won't stop. I'm building Japanese, oh yes I'm building Japanese and no I won't stop. ODK and Mania and Maru-san and Nishimo for a start. Nito does an Nishi like no other. Tsukushimi Maru's took it over, not Fuji. Oh yes I'm building Japanese, oh